Ah,
Thank you, everybody, for watching United America First. Tonight we have Mo in the house. So we're going to talk about the real deal tonight. We're going to keep it real. We're going to talk about
100.
a lot. Say it again.
We're going to keep it 100.
Keep it
We're going to keep
100.
it not PC.
Yep.
You know, hurt your
Absolutely.
feelings. Unadulterated.
Yep. So before we do that, I want to talk about one thing. So we actually have someone that's actually helping us out in our sponsorship, and they're
Okay.
helping us out with our events. So like the events that we're going to have coming up, it's a product called Immunisil, and it helps out with, various things. If you go to the website, you can download a free ebook that will explain everything that you need to know about it. It's actually absolutely awesome. So if you can, please go and check them out. If you buy the product, we get half the proceeds to go towards the United America First to help with the future events and different things like that. So please, if anyone's interested and you like what we're doing, by all means, go check it out. In the state of California, legislators are working hard to pass laws that will affect us all. Gas tax, gun control, sanctuary cities, vaccines, and many, many more. Our Peace Rally on July 8th is an event with informative speakers such as Travis Allen, Annie Cyrus, Omar Navarro, Tony the Tiger Lopez, Marco Gutierrez, Janine DeRose, Bass Stickman, Kareem Uzil, Will Johnson, and many, many more, all to help us understand what is going on in our state and across America. Live music from the good old boys. This is an event to inform you and to give you the tools you need to make a difference. Set your calendar. July 8th, California State Capitol in Sacramento, 12 to 5 p.m. Get there on time so you don't miss a thing. Unite.
Good morning. My name is State Assemblyman Travis Allen, and I'm joining you today from the California State Capitol, where it's been my pleasure to serve you for the last 5 years as a California State Assemblyman. California needs a new vision. California needs new leadership. I've seen our taxes increase to be among the highest in the nation. I've seen crime increase in every major metropolitan area, and I've seen an expansion of the government bureaucracy at the expense of hardworking Californians and their businesses. In California, we must get serious about cutting our taxes. Californians pay among the highest taxes in the entire nation. We must begin to truly get tough on crime. With Proposition 47, Proposition 57, and AB 109, more criminals now roam our streets than ever, and crime is on the rise in every major market. We need to fix our roads and reduce our traffic to make sure that Californians can get to and from work and back home to see their families. And lastly, we need to complete the California State Water Project. There is no reason that California has to be at the mercy of droughts every decade. These are problems that we can solve. These are problems that we can fix. But California needs new leadership. California has serious challenges due to decades of failed leadership in Sacramento, which is why today I am announcing that I am running to be your next governor in the state of California. My name is Travis Allen. Join me, and together, let's take back California.
All right, we're back. Hey, thank you everybody for watching. I got my main man Mo, my brother from another mother. It's
Another
all
mother.
good.
All good. In the hood.
In
Look
the
at us.
hood. It's all good.
Look, we together. Hey, look at us, man. Look at us. We
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
Long lost
I know-
brother. The one-
Yeah, I know some people were saying, I watch some of your live feeds and they're saying, "What's up, Will?" When I jump in there, and you're like, "I'm not Will. I'm not Will Johnson."
Yeah, you know, they come on now, man. People be on my page like, "Hey, do you see my name?" You know. I actually, some other people from the left, say, "Oh, that's that guy from United America." I'm like, "Oh, hold on." Man. I'm like, whatever.
Really?
You want to think that's me? That's good. I take it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I said he a gangster. So hey, we gangster right now. We you know what I'm saying? We shutting y'all down. We shutting down the left. You know?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I watch. Actually, I watch a lot of your videos when you go out and you're talking to these different people, and they, at these liberal left, hateful, hate that the ones that hate America.
Yes.
and I watch you talking to a lot of them, and you get real aggressive from. And you know what? I noticed that you get some of the same response that I get. You're a little bit more aggressive towards them than I am, and and the response you get, the response you get is different than the response I get because, well, it's not absolutely different. I noticed that a lot of the people that approach you when you're doing these videos and stuff, they kind of like they don't know how to take it. Same thing with me, because I'm sitting there standing there with people that are white. And holding a flag, and I'm sitting there, and I'm, we might as well be linked arms, and they don't know how to take it. Yeah. So tell us some of the experiences that you received being a black man with dreadlocks, and you show up and you're supporting our president.
Man, they were literally like, I had some black people walk up to me, and they saw me, and they looked at me like this here, dude, are you playing? Are you for real? I'm like this here, yeah, come on now. You ain't just trying to be controversial. Are you for real, dude? I said, yes, I'm for real. But, now I've seen it all before, man. Oh, no, man. And I said, so what do you think, man? He said, oh yeah, man. You over here cooning? I said, I'm cooning, man. I said, hey, man, you don't know my background, dude. I'm 44 years old, man. And I come from the hood, man. I come from the streets. I've been around crooked politicians before. I've been around corruption. So, you guys are blind, so whatever. I get the cooning, I get the Uncle Tom, the Uncle Ruckus. Hey, I'm Uncle Ruckus right here. I get all that too.
Yeah, today I put a post on Facebook. I said, I'm not Uncle Tom, but I am Uncle Will.
I saw that. Yeah, Uncle Will. That's what I'm talking about.
Uncle
like, hey,
Will.
Right.
So what I've noticed is like the liberal left, they're pushing all of this division, and they're pushing it to non-belief, and they're not stopping. And you know what? And I really like the fact that there's people such as yourself that's actually standing up, saying that it's not true. I mean, there's people like you, myself, and there's multiple people that's standing up saying it's not true. We are not going to fall for it any longer, and we're going to show everybody that we're not going to fall for it. And I think going to the mother of all rallies.
Amen.
September 16th is proof that when we all show up there and we're linked armed with these people that they call fascists, these people that they call racist, and I don't ever get any hate when I'm standing next to those people. When I go to these rallies and to these marches, I never get that response. It's always positive. It's always, hey, Will, we're happy to see you here, and I'm happy to see them. I always get that. It's never what the liberal left and this the Antifa group and the BLM and the BAM groups and all of those that hate America. It's nothing what they say.
Yep. They hate America. They hate America, and I had so many run-ins with them, man, and I just look like, they come to me like, oh, Trump's a racist. He's a sexist, and I've been thinking about something. I'm going to get into that a little later, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so much stuff that come at us like we are the coons, like we are the self-hating black man, but they really don't see that they're the self-hating over here. They the self-hating people over here, you know what I'm saying? Because they're sitting on their lazy butts, ain't doing nothing, They the self-hating.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it,
So last night I opened up the phone lines and I had a gentleman call in, and the first thing he did when he called in, and he said, "What's up, Uncle Tom?" And I straight up asked him, I said, "Have you ever even read Harriet Stowe? Do you even know what Uncle Tom is?" And basically, a lot of what it is, let me tell you what it is in a nutshell.
Okay.
It's Uncle Tom. People can go Google it, and there's a wiki page that explains it. And Uncle Tom was a black man that was depicted as someone who was a Christ follower, and it's right there. And I'm like, so why is this a bad thing? Well, see, black people during that time when black people became free, and there was still some black people on the plantation that didn't want to leave the plantation because they were afraid because they didn't have what they had before. They didn't want to act. They didn't want to be like on their own. So they were afraid to leave the plantation. So when they saw black people out there actually doing stuff for themselves, guess what? They called them names. So then that's when they started calling him Uncle Tom, because here it is, a black man would dress nice,
try to get education, will speak well, and address himself, yes, sir, and no, sir. So automatically, just like today, you're trying to be white. And I'm like, why is that got to be, why are you trying to be white? It's not even a trying to be white thing. It's about me being a human being. It's about me loving the country that I'm in and me trying to do better for myself. But then you get black people. Yeah. You get these black people, they hate on other black people because they're trying to do better. I never forget it. When I was growing up, because I didn't talk all crazy and I didn't use all the slang and crazy words and stuff like that, they said, oh, you trying to be white. I said, why am I trying to be white? How come I can't be like Will? That's all I know how to be. To be honest with you, I don't even know what it's like to be a color. I know what it's like to be Will Johnson. Now, I do know what happens when I go to certain places because of my complexion, but I get that from black people and white people. So I don't know what it is to be a particular color other than being Will.
Ooh, wee. You
Did
just hit that on. Yeah,
Did I hit you deep?
hit that. Whoa, you hit that, man, and that's the truth, man. You know, they don't see, man. Like I was saying a little earlier, right? When they talk about people, when they talk about us, they really talking about themselves. If you really look at it, they'll say something about you, but they can be about themselves. They want to sit there and say that Trump is the sexist, and a lot of us, we are sexist, but they are really the sexists, you know, because they try to take away gender. So that's sexist to me. That's sexist to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it 100, but boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. You know, they trying to take away those gentle parts on all of, you know what I'm saying, on our next generation. So ask themselves, who's the sexist?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, there is a war, not only for the way people think, the way you believe. There's a war on white people, and there's a war on if you are a male or a female. There's come back, come plug this in. There's a war on, and see, now I don't have an issue with people deciding to be something, whatever it is they want to be when they're adults. When you start pushing this stuff on the children, to me, that's an issue.
Yes.
Kids just need to go to school and learn about math, English, social studies, grammar. That's what they need to learn. They need to learn how to be good citizens. They don't need to be learning about if they're going to decide to change. And you know what? I don't ever really talk about it much, because once I start talking about that particular subject, I get multiple people saying, well, you're not uniting if you're talking, you know, the way you're talking about the LGBT community. I don't even talk about them. It's because they know exactly what I'm talking about. I can care less. When they're adults, do your thing. Because I'm an adult, I'm going to do my thing.
Amen.
And I don't want anyone telling me what I can and cannot do. You know, but people, when they start targeting children, it is our duty. As human beings to protect children. And that's all I want to do. Let the children play. Why are we pushing this? And I know why they're pushing it. They're pushing it because they want these kids to become a certain age. When they get older, it will become the norm. It will be the norm. Yeah, it'll be the norm.
Yeah.
So
come on now. That's what
they do. I'm gonna change subjects on you here.
All right, bro.
I'm gonna show you something, and I want to get your reaction. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You ready for it?
I'm ready, bro.
Here we go. Here it comes. You ready?
Ready. Ah! Did you beat one of them up?
I'm not a violent man. Not a violent man. But give me your reaction on that. This is a piece of history.
A piece of
history right here.
Hold on. It said hold on.
This is a piece of history. Anti-fascist.
Yeah, anti-fascist.
And they're screaming at me because I had, you know, anti-fascist. You see that? I've had people ask me to burn this piece of garbage, but it's a piece of history. It's a piece of history. And now that they've been labeled a terrorist group in the United States, I could probably get in trouble for having this garbage.
Yeah.
But it's history. It's just like having a Nazi flag. That's what I see. This is like having a Nazi flag. This is like having a ISIS flag. When I first saw them, I thought it was an ISIS flag.
Right. So that flag is something that they're trying to turn this country into. They want this to be a communist country. You know, they want to, you know what I'm saying? See, I put liberals and communists, all of them in the same category. They want to turn it, they are anti-Americans. They're against the government, you know, but they want to slowly but surely turn this into a anti-America. That's why they call it anti-fat. They anti-everything. They anti-genders. They anti-penis and anti-vagina. They want the kids to choose later on to have a penis or a vagina.
Exactly.
So,
you know, just like you said, they're wanting to turn America, everybody in America, to be anti-America while you're living in America. They don't even want you flying the American flag in America. When I was at the rally, I was at a rally in where was it? It was in Sacramento. Okay. And standing on the corner and people holding the flag and people riding by, giving them the middle finger because they're holding up the American flag in America. In America. So you know what? It kind of really ticks me off because there's men and women fighting right now today, and we don't see them. They're fighting right now today to protect us here in America. Because if we don't address the cockroach problem where the cockroaches are festing, they're going to migrate to here. And if we would have got Hillary Clinton in office, we would have had people like Hillary Clinton reminds me of Angela Merkel. Look what's happening in Europe right now. They're getting infested by these cockroaches that's in there raping the women. They're destroying stuff. And that's the same thing that they wanted to bring here. And for the life of me, these liberals don't get it. I had someone tell me today that I'm a liberal hater. I don't hate people. I hate liberalism. There's a difference.
Liberalism, yes, right.
There's a difference. Go ahead.
You hate their mental disorder. You hate liberalism, which is a mental disorder. You know, it's what they are. You know what I'm saying? The people are very satanic. They're a bunch of zombies. You know what I'm saying? We don't like what was using them on the inside. You know, so we don't hate them. I know you don't hate them. It's liberalism.
I don't hate the people because I've actually had people that call themselves Democrats and liberals they've even called in. You know, it's not that I don't hate liberals. I want to make sure I don't hate people that are Democrats. And I don't hate people at all. Now, I'm entitled to hate when someone's doing something. I hate that ISIS is chopping off the head of people. That don't mean I hate the people. Right. I hate the fact that people going out here harming other people. That don't mean I hate them. I hate the acts that they play, the acts that they do. There's a difference, you know. So hey, let's talk about Donald Trump.
All right.
So did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did. I voted for him.
So you're a black man and you voted for Donald Trump. What were you thinking?
What was I thinking? I was thinking about.
What were you thinking? You're a black man and you voted for Donald Trump. What were you thinking? Because according to the liberal left media, you should not have voted for Donald J. Trump. So what were you thinking? Right. Tell me, what were you thinking when you voted for him? Why did you vote for him?
America first. True patriot. You know, America first. That he's going to put America first. He's not going to be controlled by the government. You know, and we're tired of this, you know what I'm saying, people that's trying to turn us to a one world government, you know. It's principles, you know. We don't need political correctness over here, you know what I'm saying. We need to shake this country and get it in order, you know what I'm saying. The biggest thing is Trump cares about America and America first, not illegal immigrants, but America first. Like he said to the African Americans, I like when he said that, they got offended. He said, my African Americans, what the hell you got to lose?
Exactly.
Your schools are no good. You have no jobs.
Exactly.
And that was real, Jack.
And they're like, whoa. He's sitting there telling black people what you got to lose because they've been black people have been losing a lot. And black people steady complaining, but they don't act out and want change. That's what ticks me off. Look at Chicago right now. Look at these predominantly ran Democratic states that have the highest crime rates with black people killing black people, but they don't want to talk about that.
No, they don't.
Talk about that. All they want to do is talk about one incident where somebody white that was a cop that killed somebody black. I saw another video today where it was a white cop sitting in his vehicle and he's asking, "Where are all the celebrities? Where's the BLM? Where's the ACLU?
Yes.
Where's Al Sharpton? Where's Jesse Jackson?" For the black female cop that was in the hood, in the community, trying to make sure that black people are safe. That's all she was doing there. Somebody walked up to her vehicle and shot her in the head in the hood. Why? Because they hate cops. She was there to protect people.
Amen.
And they did this. And I'm like, you know what? And he's a white guy and he's upset that they killed her. But all they want to do is talk about when racial tension, and because these liberal media outlets that keep pushing this hate, they push it constantly over and over and over. And they don't ever stop.
No.
They don't ever stop. They keep going on and on about how much the white people are doing this. I was watching a little short clip today on CNN, and I can't remember the gentleman's name. So during I guess it was during a civil rights movement, they had this movement called go and sit in. It was called sit in, I believe. And when they went in and sat in the restaurants where black people couldn't sit at the bar, he had them on CNN listen to this episode where now how they got the recording of this that's taking place during that time, I don't know. Because you know they didn't have cell phones and they weren't recording stuff left and right. So I'm assuming that they reacted this and played it out while he's sitting there watching the little video clips on the screen. The whole point is the liberal media, specifically CNN, keep pushing this hateful, racist tension narrative against everybody. This is the year 2017. This is the year 2017, and they're still pushing this as if it's an issue. The issue is them keeping this crap alive. Of course, it happened in the past. Okay? Leave it in the past. I mean, it did happen in the past. We can't avoid it. It's something that happened in America, and I guarantee people don't like the past. We learn from the past.
You learn from the past.
We learn from the past, and then they have these people that are taking down these monuments. Why? Because they want to do it again. They want to. They want people to forget about the craziness that they did in the past.
Amen.
But we need to leave that up.
Yes.
But my whole point is, you have the liberal left. They constantly dig in and they drive in about the racial division in this country. That's why they're so supportive of BLM, because BLM is talking nothing but division. I mean, you go to some of these rallies, you and I, because we're not really dark. If we go to some of these BLM rallies, they'll probably tell us to get in the back as well because we're not dark enough.
Yep.
I've gotten that from these people.
Yep. They would put us to the back. Crazy. They would kick us to the curb. Yeah, it's crazy, Will, man. It's so much, man. It's like, whoa. Could they really be that ignorant? And I look at them sometimes. Could y'all really be that ignorant? You know? Invasion from the liberal media.
Yeah, you know, they take what the media says. And the reason why they take from what the media says and they take it for truth is because it's on CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post. I mean, all these liberal outlets, and they all say the same thing. So it must be true. And for them, when we get people, not just black people, but you get white people, even Asian people, Latinos, that read right past all that craziness and see that they are completely lying to us. And now they're doing damage control. Ever since Junior Trump released that single email.
Right. Out of how many emails that someone else had? Come on, finish, Will.
It was a single email.
Come on.
And now they don't talk about nothing. They're playing damage control right now because the fake news the fake news media, they are losing ratings. They're hurting. There's people there's people on Facebook right now that's getting bigger ratings than CNN.
Oh, man.
And the only reason why people put them on there because only reason why these liberals still watching them because they're nationwide, and they believe that what they're saying is true, but they're completely lying to all of us. 100%.
100%, 200%. You dig?
So are you in Detroit or Chicago? Where are you at?
No, I'm in Wisconsin. I'm about an hour.
You're in Wisconsin.
I'm from Chicago. Wisconsin. I'm from Chicago, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? I've been.
Okay, that's where I got that from.
Yeah, I've been there, man. You know, I've been. Make the long story short, man, I had a rough life down there, man. I've been through some stuff. I used to be a gangbanger down there when it was organized crime, and I predicted what was going to happen 20-some years ago. What was going to happen with the murders in Chicago? People thought I was crazy. They locked up every gang leader in Chicago. They locked up Larry Hoover. They locked up Jeb Ford. They locked up, you know what I'm saying, Lord Gino, the Latin King leader. They locked up everybody's leader. They put them like to New York, they switched up people leaders. And then guess what? No more structure. And guess what? You got the same gangs killing each other. You know what I'm saying? It's no more of a triangle. It turned into something else now. And I told everybody, watch Chicago real soon. Next 10, 15 to 20 years. I predicted that because these people.
Let me ask you. So you say you used to be a gangbanger.
Oh yes,
right.
Yes.
So how is it a gangbanger can wake up and vote for Donald J. Trump, which is a white man?
Common sense.
I mean, seriously, because according to the liberal left, that should never happen.
Right. I'm an old gangster, but real gangsters recognize gangsters. Trump a gangster. He would gangster everybody. You know what I'm saying? He's G, and he's taking this country like a gangster. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? I said in a bad way. Everybody want to hear this, but Trump a gangster. He a G. You know, he ain't no punk.
He a real G.
He ain't no punk. Yeah, he real G, and he ain't no punk. You dig? He ain't no sissy. You know what I'm saying? So I come from a different background. You know what I'm saying? Organized crime. I've seen, you know what I'm saying, what gangsters is and what people that ain't no sissies. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people behind the government, organized crime down there. So, you know what I'm saying? You develop common sense when you in that lifestyle. So I see common sense over here. It's all about common sense.
So let me ask you ever have anybody come on Facebook and tell you that you need to cut your dreads or that your dreads are too tight?
On Facebook?
Just period.
Yeah. I get that. I get a few of that. You know.
I mean, they said, Will, you need to cut those dreads and get a job.
Get a job.
They don't know nothing about my life. They don't know what I do.
Don't know.
They don't know any of that, and they sitting there making all this. You know what? The biggest one. Someone's calling me a racist, saying that I'm a racist against white people.
Okay.
So I guess next thing I'm saying I'm racist against black people. I've actually had that. I had someone say that before in the past. I've had white liberals tell me that I don't know what it's like to be black. I'm like, okay, because really I know what it's like to be Will. And so I asked him, I said, so what is it like to be white? And then I asked him, I said, do you have white privilege? I mean, if you have white privilege and you're a liberal, maybe you need to pay me reparations.
Ooh.
Then they kind of shut up then. You know, when you have these arguments with these liberals and they talking about black people have this and black people have that, just ask them, well, are you paying your fair share then? Are you paying reparations? A lot of them will shut up right away. They don't have nothing to say after that.
Have them shut to the hell up.
So, you know, it's still when did you realize that you were for Trump?
When I realized, I'm gonna tell you this little short story. You know, I have never been into politics my whole life. I voted for Obama the first time because he was black. Second time I didn't vote. I said I'm done with politicians. I'm done with all of them. And then one day I was at work. And I see people get in trouble from saying the wrong thing, you know, for speaking the truth. And I said, I'm tired of all this political correctness. That's what I said. I said to one of my guys at work. He said, yeah, I'm tired of all this political correctness too. And then one day I went home. I laid down and went to sleep. And I was on my dad's house last year. And I fell asleep and I woke up and I seen Trump saying something. We frankly have no time for political correctness. And I'm looking like, oh no, this is what I've been talking about, man. let me see what this dude got to say. When he said that, they actually kind of opened up my ears, and he was just talking about how we got other stuff to focus on instead of being sensitive about everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like he want to bring the jobs back in the country. And I was hearing this like, whoa! I was loving his policies, man. The principles, man. This man, he has good standards. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He's a businessman. So I started looking at him every day, and I'm like, whoa. And then that's when I decided, I said, there's no what, I'm rolling with Trump, man. That's my dude right there, man. He says what the hell he want to say.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of white people that actually voted for Obama. And a lot of white people voted for Obama because they themselves said, you know what, it's time. And you know what? A lot of white people anticipated that he was going to do more stuff to help the black communities like Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people thought he was going to do that. Even black people anticipated that he was going to fix the issue. He was from Chicago, Chi-Town, right?
Well, which is called Chirac now. Yeah.
Chirac. Right. But a lot of people anticipated that, he's going to fix it. Change has come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he brought change, all right. He brought the change that America did not need. And a lot of people voted for him for that reason. And then you get these same white people that voted for Obama, voting for Trump, and now all of a sudden they're racist.
Yeah.
To me, that's a problem. And now
Ain't
they're
being kind of racist? Voting for Obama because he's black? Is that being kind of racist over there? I mean,
and white people, and there are some white people that voted for him because he was black.
I'm not racist. I have a black friend. People, I'm not racist.
Huh?
I'm not racist because I voted for Obama. That white liberal guilt they got.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. It's exactly what that is, 100%. And then these same people that voted for him, they voted for Donald Trump. And it's not because they voted for Donald Trump because he's white. We've already had white presidents. That wasn't the case. The reason why they voted for Donald Trump because we needed true change. And he was going to bring it because he wasn't a stinking politician. Yes. And a lot of people complain because he's not a politician, and now he has his family there in the mix doing this and doing that, and people getting upset. I'm going to tell you this. People that's watching, if I was president, I would probably do the same thing. If I was in the same situation dealing with these crooked Democrats and these crooked Republicans.
Amen.
The swamp has a lot of swamp monsters in it. He doesn't know who he can trust. Look how they're leaking information left and right.
Yes.
They are trying to take him down because the establishment does not like what he is doing. He is bringing information to the people. He is allowing the rest of us know what's going on. Yes. I remember sometimes there would be weeks before we even heard from Obama. People, we hear from the president every day.
Yep.
Every day. He's putting out a tweet, and it's driving the liberal left media insane. Also, it's driving the Republicans insane.
Preach, Willie.
Like, how do we control him? And you know what? These Republicans get up there. I'm established Republican, and I'm this and I'm that, and he needs to stop tweeting this. He needs to stop tweeting out these information. He needs to stop tweeting about little frivolous stuff. You know, he needs to talk about the people's issues. They act as if this man can take 30 seconds and put out a tweet to get the media going crazy and then handle his business doing everything else. They think that he's sitting there doing that tweet and he's sitting there watching all the comments. I guarantee that he's not. I guarantee that he's not. He's putting the tweet out there and then he walks away from it.
He walks away.
He go do his thing. He's handling his business. And they're sitting there thinking, oh, look at that comment, look at that comment, look at the comment. And these idiots putting out all these hateful comments on his Twitter, he don't even read it. And they think that he's reading it. It's probably every blue moon that he's probably reading them. But I'm pretty sure and 30 seconds was 142 characters. I mean, are you serious? And they going crazy. And these Republican and even the Democrats, you know, he should not be doing these tweets. This is not good for the country. What's not good for the country is the media. The media has been destroying everybody's minds over and over and over. That's the very reason why we got these people going out being violent towards other people that don't think the way they think now. That's the reason why we got these hateful groups. Yes. That's the reason why we have it right now, because of the liberal left media. They keep pushing it out. Yeah, the whole resistant movement. Are you kidding me? Resist what? Resist. Now, did you have a resistance against Obama? Because really, there should have been one against him. The way he was doing this country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely insane. Why are we here? Why is this constantly happening? It's sickening. These liberals, and a lot of people don't even realize it.
To get Obama in the office was a setup to prove that they love black people. It was all a setup to make way to Hillary to get in his office. But Hillary never got in. It backfired on him. It all backfired on him. That's why he hurried up and made these transgender bathrooms before he decided to get out of before he got out of office. He was trying to make the way for Hillary. He laid out the red carpet for Hillary.
Obama, he sure did. He sure did.
And it backfired on him. It backfired on that Negro.
It sure did. So just like CNN, you know good and well the reason why. Now this is my opinion. Donald Trump Jr. released that email.
Yeah.
Before someone else got their hands on it and released it. Because if someone else got their hands on it and released it, and they would say, look, here's proof they were colluding with Russia. This woman that they were talking to had nothing to do with the Russian government. It's just someone who lived in Russia or who's from Russia. Who cares? But these liberals, they take it and now there's okay, well, who was in the meeting? This person was in the meeting. Was their phone records? Who cares? They're sitting there talking about that Trump needs to pay attention to the real issues going on in America. And what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're paying attention to a single email, and they slipped their mind about 30,000 emails that Hillary Clinton deleted with bleach bit. She had a software, and to my understanding, the software is very expensive. And then she smashed her cell phones, smashed the hard drives, but that's okay.
Give it the evidence. They're coming.
That's my whole point. These liberals, they're completely lawless, and they think that everything that the bad thing that they're doing is completely okay. This is the state we're in, and they're driving it, trying to cause a civil war. They're trying to cause a racial war in America, and I'm here to tell people, do not believe it. I stand proudly next to white people, Latino people, brown people in this country. If they love this country, I can care less who you go home with.
Yes.
I can care less what you do when you go home.
Yep.
We need to protect everybody for our liberty.
Everybody.
Our prosperity. Our sovereignty.
Amen.
And our safety in America. That's what it's about. It's not about America going out here talking about, ooh, he said this or he sent that email or she said that. We need to wake up to what they're actually trying to do. They're trying to destroy this country.
Destroy by turning it into communist country. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got the Russian flag over here. Come on now. Russian flag, communist. Come on now. Pay attention, everybody. Pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you have these people showing up through these rallies, the anti-American people, and they're flying the Russian flags. They got on Russian masks. And then they're talking about that Trump colluded with Russia. Are you kidding me?
Hi, George Soros.
People, we need to wake up. And you know what? There's one thing we probably can do. And a lot of people send me the information before. One thing we can do, we can stop supporting them. We could probably call them their sponsors and say, hey, if you keep supporting them pushing out these blatant lies, I'm no longer going to buy your product. They'll stop it. All we're asking, you know what? When I was at the United America First Peace rally this past weekend, I asked the news reporter that was there. I said, just imagine if you could get the national media to pick one day, 24-hour period, and talk about the positive things Donald J. Trump is doing for this country. I said, I guarantee that your ratings will go through the roof. Why? Because people would watch to see if you're actually going to do it.
Yeah.
And then if you did it the next day, people will watch again to see if you're going to be positive. But they can't do it because they have a narrative. Their ratings right now are in the tank, and they don't care because they want to convince people that Donald J. Trump stole the election. No, good and well he didn't. No, good and well he didn't. So let me go back again. So you being a black man with dreadlocks, You say you used to be a gangbanger, and then you supported Donald J. Trump. You voted for Donald J. Trump. When did that light bulb go off for you? Because for me, it went off when you made the comment. Well, it didn't actually. It went off before then. But you know what? It sold me on it when you just made the comment earlier. What sold me on it, and he said when he went into the hood and said, "What the hell do you got to lose?" Excuse my language. What do you got to lose? Seriously.
What you got to lose?
And so 2018, we need to get out. We need to get people to wake up, vote out these Democrats that's keeping you in poverty.
Yes.
If you are in one of these Democratic states like California, people need to stand up. You need to get out, and you need to speak up. You need to show up to these town hall meetings. You need to show up when these people are having these rallies. People need to show up. You need to show up and tell them you have destroyed this country. You have destroyed this state. We need to wake people up as much as possible.
Much as possible.
Because if we don't, we're going to lose. We already see what they're doing. Chicago, St. Louis. You know what it is? It's like the pilot program on how they want to take the rest of the country.
Yes.
That's exactly what they want to do. They want to take the rest of the country and do the same thing what they've been doing there. They want the whole thing to be in poverty. They want everybody to be on welfare. They want everybody to be dependent on the government because for some of them, the government is God.
If you vote for me, blacks, if the black people vote for us, we will make sure we keep you guys on welfare. We will not cut food stamps. That's what the left promised the black community, the African American community, that they'll keep the food stamps, that the Republicans want to cut welfare. So they say the main things to catch their ear. And so like, oh, he trying to cut welfare. Y'all better vote for Hillary over here. Trump better cut meals on wheels. He better cut all this, you know?
Yeah. They say, and he doesn't cut it. He cuts the stuff that they don't need. He cut the fat. He's been cutting the fat, and they don't like it. Because they want this money they want America to constantly go down the drain. They want America to constantly be in debt.
That's why black
businessmen.
The black population is dying off in Chicago right now, and they don't care about it. So that's a big jump right there.
Who's killing them off?
Killing blacks. You know?
And it's perfectly okay. Where's BLM?
It's okay.
You know what? Black lives don't matter unless it's a white cop involved.
That's right.
Seriously. Or if black lives don't matter unless a white person is involved.
Real talk, Jack.
Other than that, they do not matter. Because if they truly mattered, they wouldn't be going to Chicago talking about what do we want? Dead cops. What do we want them now? They're literally saying that. Yeah. When are they going to stand up? You know what? These so-called leaders, like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, they need to go away. They need to go away because they're not leaders. They're not any leader that I know that has done anything good for anybody. They've only done good for themselves. They're out for themselves to make a profit. That's all it is. There was one thing Jesse showed up to, and then he was passing around a hat, asking people to put money in it, taking up donations.
Right.
I couldn't believe it.
He calls himself a reverend, but he don't preach Jesus in his message.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's actually the opposite.
Yeah, he don't teach, love. He don't teach love your neighbors, you love yourself. He don't teach Christ is coming back. So this is a title. Them titles, the name reverend. He's a Pharisee. That's what he is. Look at the Bible, Pharisee. Matthew 15. He's a Pharisee. And that's it.
Hey, so check it out. I'm gonna open up the phone line to see if anybody wanted to give us a call to ask us any kind of questions. Maybe we can get my friend that called last night to tell me how I'm wrong again, and maybe he can call both of us Uncle Tom while we on here live together.
Bring it, dude. Yeah.
Well, like I said, the nice thing was, the name calling's okay, whatever. I don't even care. But at least he came on and he went, cursing left and right, doing all of that. Because that doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help anything. So if you wanna call in and tell me how I'm wrong, or tell Mo how he's wrong for voting for Trump, The number is 650-488-1076. Go ahead,
Bring it on.
call me and tell me. You know what? You don't even have to call me and tell me how I'm wrong. You can even call us and tell us that you agree. I mean, call in. The line is hot right now. This is Friday night.
Let's take our words back. You my coon, man. My coon. My coon. What's up, my coon? Coon, please.
You know what? And I've said this in a couple videos before. When I used to consider myself a Democrat, and I would have conversations with people that were on the right, I didn't have any of them calling me these hateful, racist names. Not one time. Not one time. Because, you know, a lot of them said, that's not me, and I don't want people labeling me as a racist. So they didn't do it. But as soon as I consider myself a conservative, I don't even consider myself a Republican. Never have. But I do consider myself a Christian conservative. And when I started doing that, that's when these liberals started coming out with all the hateful, racist name calling like it was no tomorrow. Like it's no tomorrow. All right, look, we got one.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hey, turn your computer down in the background.
I'm calling from South Carolina.
Turn your computer down in the background, please.
Yep, doing it right now. As soon as it won't.
Just hit the mute button.
All right, I'm walking away. Okay. Yeah, I watch both you and Mo. I follow both of you, and I think you're great.
Well, I thank you. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it.
And I agree 100%. And I voted for Trump because the day I saw him in the first debate, I said, oh, he's got them on the run. And that's why I voted for him.
Well, I voted for him too.
Amen.
Thank you for calling.
Have a great night, a great show you got going.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless.
Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Turn your computer down in the background.
Ohio?
I got it down. My good old friend Will Johnson, this is the little old lady from Ohio. And I'm surprised to hear you that you were a Democrat just like me once upon a time.
Well, you know what? I was a Democrat, and then God healed me.
Hallelujah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was one for years. And when Trump won, I wasn't even going to vote because I didn't want Hillary. But I had a special feeling when I finally seen him in about his third group. I felt that he really started to care about the people. But I'm going to tell you, Will, I'm worried about it lately because he's got to shake up some of these people. Jeff Sessions is not going after the big ones. Trump's got to clean house. He's got to be unafraid, and I want him to move forward. I want to see this happen. I don't know if you're familiar. I wanted to bring up you tonight, the conventions of the state. Are you familiar with it at all, Will?
I've had a few people mention it to me.
Well, I think it's the only thing until we get where people like us, like all of us, can go at state level and get involved. And we need to start educating the people about it because nobody knows about it.
Yeah, and, I agree. You know, and that's part of it. Until we start informing people, waking people up, giving people suggestions, ideas, places to go, people to call, things to do, it's not going to make a difference. Because you know what? Typically, conservatives, Republicans, they don't do anything as a whole.
No.
They sit back and they expect the people that we elected to go out and do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not doing it. This is the most corrupt Senate and Congress, and this is what the conventions of state, they've been making their own laws. They've integrated laws here that are so illegal. And until we can build a movement at each state, every state in this country, till we can call them on it, we are going to have no power. And
Right on.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rand Paul, Trey Gowdy, guys like that are involved in this. This Senate and Congress is corrupt. And they've been doing it they're professional. They've made a lifetime profession out of it.
Yep.
They've been doing it for years, and they've got to go. That was my thought for tonight, was to get this out there so that people will learn about it. We got to get them at the state level, because we've got to do it. I'm telling you, they're not doing Senate and Congress, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the FBI. They're not making the Department of Justice. None of the agencies are working for our president. You know that. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And if people don't make them, they're going to continue what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's why I'm calling. Next year, 2018, is the local state elections. We've got to make so much noise. We've got to hit the ground running, and we need to start now.
Mm-hmm.
We can't wait until we find out that is how close the race is. We need to make sure that we stay ahead and we get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do that now. And us as conservatives or Republicans, we need to stop sitting by idly waiting for someone to do it. When you say, well, someone's going to do it for us, it's us.
I'm guilty of it too. We sit online, we complain, we make jokes.
Yes.
But
yes.
we need to get active. We need to make a movement. And I think these people can do it. I think this, what I'm reading about it, I know very little because I just got a hold of it. But there's 8 states in the country that have got it. And this needs to be explored, because the people have sitting and voicing our opinions. You know what opinions are. We all got them. You know the old saying. But we now need action. And the only way you're going to do it, when I organized years ago, back in Flint, Michigan, my husband was a facilitator with Lud Ashley, and when we organized back in them days, you had to act. You couldn't just sit on your butt and complain. You got out there. And this, if we can get this passed in every state, that will give the people, then you can get to the state level. We can't get to the federal level. We can't get to the Congress. I would like to see Kid Rock sing a song and take about 1 million through the center aisle of the rotunda. That'd be cool. But, it's not realistic. We've got to fight back with something that will work. So that's my passing. God bless you. I love you, Will. And this is my first night with Mo, and I love you both. So keep up the good work. And
yes, thank you for calling in. God bless.
Be blessed.
I think you know who this is. Take care, Will.
All right, good night.
Don't give up the ship.
All right. Much love.
Bye-bye.
Much love. Thanks. I appreciate it. Good word. Good word.
All right. I think someone else was just trying to call in. So if you want to call in now, the line is hot. The line is open. 650-488-1076. You know what? I love it when I get beautiful young ladies like the one that just called in and the one before her to call in and, and tell us how they feel. Because we're not the only ones that feel like this. And you know what? It has nothing to do with color, because everybody wants America to be great and to stay great and to be great again. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jeff Burton. I work in Washington, D.C.
You're in D.C.?
I'm an old Indiana boy.
D.C. What up, Jeff?
Yeah, but I just want to thank you all, man. What an awesome show. Awesome show.
Well, thank you, sir. We're just trying to, we're just trying to do our part. That's when people say you're doing awesome, you're doing great things. All I'm trying to do is my part, and that's all I can do.
And that's what we all have to do, And that's I've been saying this for years, and everybody's always trying to. I actually got to meet Jesse Jackson when I was in middle school and in high school. I'm 55. I met him several times. Back in those days, he was in what they call, we had a human relations club, the hand-in-hand club, had the black and the white hand together, and it's about togetherness. 5 years later, he's a totally different man, never been the same since. And it's a shame because he was a good man back then, you know. And I went to school during the busing gender. My mother said, "Hey, where's your friends eat lunch at since they're bussed over?" I said, "Well, they don't. That, you know, they just eat there at school." She said, "You bring them home with you." We had neighbors tell us, "Hey, what are you doing? You're running our neighborhood, letting them boys come with you." My mom said, "Them kids are good." My friends visited my mom and dad till they passed when their own kids wouldn't visit. You know, our world is made this way by the politicians and the people out there that have closed minds.
Yep, and the media keep pushing it.
And the media is terrible. They ought to fire them all and shut them down. That's why I like Trump tweeting, because you know what? He bypasses them.
Yes.
Amen.
You know what? I like it too, because in these politicians and even these you know, even Republicans talking about, well, he need to stop tweeting. They need to stop talking, because he's actually talking to us directly, and he's doing it every day. We know what's going on because of the president.
Well, they're all scared because they're not doing their job either.
Yep,
they know
exactly.
He don't care if you're going to do best for our country, or I'll get rid of you too.
Yep, exactly.
They're all the same. So, I work in Washington, D.C. I'm a white man that works in D.C. I go into every restaurant down and never have an issue on it. It's about respect.
What's up, my white man?
Others, and they see how you pertain and treat people and how you accept things.
Yep. So since you're right there in D.C., are you going to be at the mother of our rallies?
Of course.
Yeah, I can imagine not
as long as I
missing
get
it
off
right
work.
there.
I'm on the Anacostia Clean Rivers Tunnel project there. We're doing all the big 25-foot diameter tunnels underneath D.C. for the sewage overflows. So, yes, I'll be there. I'm in Indiana right now. I'm back closing out my father's estate, trying to do some stuff. Then I'll be going back. But, yes, I will. I try to get to all I can.
See you there, Holmes.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you for calling in.
Hey, thank you all for telling the truth and helping us spread the word. I mean, we just got to get people to get off their ass and
people need to get
up.
I can say
it's politically correct.
Yeah. People need to get up.
Thank you, and God
I ain't
bless
mad at
you.
you.
Have a wonderful night.
All right, God bless.
God bless, man.
See, that's exactly what it's about. We need to, people all over are waking up to what's actually happening in the state of America.
Yep.
I mean, and that's what it's about. And you know what? A lot of people, especially on the left, they say that Trump, he's racist, he's xenophobic, he's all this and he's all that, which is a complete lie. A complete lie.
Woo.
And what they don't realize, and I think they do realize it. That's why they're trying to hammer so hard on it right now, is because there's people such as myself. There's multiple pages, Facebook pages, YouTube channels that are just coming up right now supporting the president that are not white.
Yeah.
And they're doing it because they're waking up to what the liberal left media is doing. They are such a poisonous entity in America. It is unbelievable. And then they get the nerve and get upset talking about, well, Trump is not letting us into the meeting. Well, if you're going to come in there and I tell you that this car is red and then you go out and tell the people it's blue, I wouldn't let you in either. Stop blatantly lying. And a lot of people, because they hear the lie the first time, they don't believe anything else after that. They take that lie and they run with it.
And they run. They run so far away that you can't catch them. And they kind of like, oh, I'm running away. I'm running away with this, what I heard. I'm running.
Yeah, and they don't even want to be caught. They don't want to be told the truth. And then a lot of times after you tell them the truth, after what just happened, they get upset with you. They get mad at you. They start calling you names. You know what? I don't know about you, but when I became a conservative, I have family members that won't even talk to me today.
Oh!
And you know what? And there's multiple people. And you know what? It's not anything about just me being who I am, being a black man with dreadlocks. It's happening to white people.
Yes, it's everybody.
Because they voted for Donald J. Trump. They too, even Latinos, they too they have family members because they believe what the lying liberal left media has been telling them.
Even
they
gays
believe it.
Even gays turn on gays.
So, they say, well, you're going to support him, or I can't be your family member any longer. I'm going to disown you. I can't support you. I can't be your friend any longer because you support Donald J. Trump. And he is the president of the United States. When I was at the United America First Peace rally, there was the media that was there.
Yeah.
Asked me, he said, so is this a pro-Trump rally? And I said, this is a pro-American rally. And he go, but is it a pro-Trump rally? And I said, who is the president of the United States? He said, Trump. This is a pro-American rally. He didn't want to hear that. I said, he is the president of these United States.
Oh my Lord.
I mean, you know what? These liberals, they can't wrap it around their mind that Donald J. Trump is the president. They're still so upset because Hillary didn't win. They said it was time. Okay, so this is the way the liberals are. Well, we let a black man be president. Now it's time for us to let a woman be president.
Yep, that was the move. That was the agenda.
That's exactly it. We let a black man be president. Now it's time to let a woman be president.
Right,
That's exactly what they were thinking. And I'm not, you know what? I love women. And there are some beautiful, intelligent women. There are. And there are some women that are capable of being president. But for the life of me, I was not going to vote for Hillary.
No.
I was not going to vote for Hillary. We would be in turmoil right now. We would be like Angela Merkel over there in Europe, allowing these people come in to rape the women, to destroy the country, to burn it down.
Yeah.
And then if you speak up against it, you're being hateful. You're being xenophobic. They even try to make it a law. They even try to make it a law if you speak out with what's his name? Lil Rubio. Lil Rubio. Him, Dianne Feinstein.
Okay.
And I can't remember the other lady name. Linda. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. The three of them came over the bill to make it against the law for anybody to speak out against minorities. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
From North Carolina. Hey, Mo, how you doing?
I'm doing
North
good.
Carolina.
Doing good. Where'd you say you're calling from again?
Glad to see Judy from North Carolina.
Oh, you got a question for me? Did you call to tell me how I'm wrong for voting for Trump?
No, Lord, no. I voted for Trump too.
I had one last night. I had a brave gentleman call me last night and tell me how I was wrong.
I heard him. I heard that conversation.
Did you?
Yeah.
How you doing
You
this
did
evening?
good. You handled it real good. I wanted to go back to the LGBT that you was talking about.
Okay, what about it?
Again on the show, did you know that they were trying to add P to the LGBT community?
So is it LGBTQP?
Yeah.
So what is the P
P
stand
for
for?
pedosexuals.
Heterosexuals?
Pedosexuals.
Pedo.
Yeah.
So for
Trying
like
to
children.
add pedophiles to them.
For like children.
Huh?
So they want to include they want to include it to where sexual relationships between men and basically grown men and children, or even grown women and children, is okay.
Yes.
You know, there's already actually been a movement for that, and it's actually been around for years. It's called MAMBLA, and to my understanding, it originated. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not gonna say where it originated, but I know it was pretty big, like in Canada. But what it is Man Boy Love Association, where they're trying to make it legal for grown men to have sexual relationships with young children, little boys or little girls, which is, to me, is completely
Correct.
sick. Completely sick. If you're an adult, you want to go do your thing, by all means, go do your thing. Who am I to tell you what you can and cannot do? And it's just become, when it comes to children, we need to be protective. That's all I'm saying. And as adults, by all means, people get it right, because I know people are probably going to say, well, you're not unifying because you're saying this. I'm talking about children. Adults, you want to do it. I don't want to unify because you know what? I don't ever want to unify because of someone's color. I don't ever want to unify because of someone's sexual preference. I want to unify based on our sovereignty, our liberty, for us to have prosperity, and our safety. That's what I want to unify on. The rest of it, that's your personal business.
Yeah, and what about the safety for our kids? And the only reason why they're trying to add this is because of Sharia law, Islam.
Yeah.
You know,
in Islam, pedophilia is a major act that's constantly happening. Yeah. And exactly. Islam is not looked down upon until you become a certain age. So a grown man, I think he can have sexual relations with a young boy up until I think the age 15 or 16 or something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm not getting the exact number right, because I don't ever really look into that, because I really don't want. It's disgusting to me.
Lord help me.
But I know they can have sexual relationships with these young boys up until a certain age, and they look at it as okay, as if it's not actually doing something. The question is when they're doing this to these young children, what do they think it's going to do to their minds when they become men? Then they turn around and do the same thing.
Well, that's what it's all about, and the pedosexual from the LGBT, and I've had lots of gay friends, lots of lesbian friends. A lot of them don't even agree with the transgenders, much less a pedosexual, because a lot of my lesbian friends, they were with men and have kids before they became lesbian, and they've got grandkids. They're not, they don't agree. They're not going to agree with this pedosexual, so it may just make the whole LGBTQ fall apart. It may be a good thing.
Yeah, I've actually had conversations with people that live the lifestyle, and a lot of them don't want, this push on the children either, because they know that children should just be children. At least give them the opportunity to grow up, become adults before we start introducing them. I don't even want children, little boys, to be having a sexual relationship with little girls at that age. They need to be kids. They need to be kids. Just let them be kids.
I thought we had laws. I thought that we had laws for that, though. Don't we have laws that you can't have sex with someone under 18?
So let me tell you a story. And I actually lost whatever friendship you want to call it when this took place. I had a conversation with a person, and they were telling me that their daughter was online chatting in these chat rooms and ended up chatting with this older man across state lines. And the older man was trying to convince her, their daughter, to come across state lines to have sexual relations with him. Well, the parents got wind of the daughter doing this with this man across state lines. They recorded all the conversation. They went to the police department. The man is in jail today, which should take place, because they found out that he had child pornography on his computer, et cetera, et cetera. Not long after that, the same young girl got into another chat room and started having conversations with a woman. The woman ended up having sex with the young little girl. The parents did not report it. Today, the girl has a girlfriend. So why is it okay for her to have sexual relationships with another woman? And the woman was older. It was an older woman. She was underage. They didn't report it. They thought it was okay. Here it is. She almost had sex with a man, which, that's how the earth was populated. That's a problem.
It's the same thing. It don't matter if it's male or female. If you're having sex with someone under 18, that's against the law, and it's wrong, morally wrong.
It is 100%. It shouldn't matter if it's male or female at that age. But it just blew me away that they were perfectly okay with the young daughter having sex with the older woman, but it was looked down upon for the daughter to be with a man.
Yeah.
Not that either one is okay. Both are wrong. But to them, one was okay and one was not. And I guess my whole point of that is that we have liberals that are pushing that as it's okay in today's society.
Yeah.
And they are liberal.
Well, the last caller was talking about how, that we need to hold our state officials accountable. We also need to hold these judges accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Just like the case out of, was it Idaho? And the Muslims raped the 5-year-old and peed in her mouth. And they got by with probation. They raped the little girl and peed in her mouth. And they got, the judge let them off probation.
Oh, to cut his wound off.
We need to have a way to hold these judges. I don't care if you're a congressman, a senator, a judge, a police officer, a chief. We've got to have a way to hold any of these officials accountable.
I completely agree. I mean,
and how do we do that? Do we take cases to the Supreme Court?
So you know what? I think if I'm not, yeah, I mean, this it's a sick planet. I mean, sadly, it's a sick planet. I mean, how do for that? I'm still just wrapping my mind around. I know the story that you're talking about, and for that to happen, I can't imagine, that if my daughter or my sister or that could have been that someone's future mother, and this is happening to our children in America, and the media is not even talking about it. They're spending time talking about a daggum single email that's pointing to nothing, and we have these crazy acts that's taking place in America.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. We need to do something about these judges. Something needs to be done about it. If I'm not mistaken, I think judges are elected as well.
Yeah, they are. But, I mean, what if they're not abiding by our Constitution? What if they're not abiding by our rights, by the law? How do we hold them accountable? Do we take
actually,
it to the Supreme Court?
I'm gonna let the cat out the bag a little bit. There's actually a group of people that are constitutionalists, and they're getting ready to bring a movement that's, I guess I should have brought this up when the other young lady called in earlier. There's actually a movement right now that are the constitutionalist people, and they go through the Constitution vigorously, and they're going to start presenting this information, how these judges, these politicians, how they're completely going against the Constitution. Once they start doing that, they can probably have to look out for trouble, because people like Hillary are still in office, where people start speaking up, people start ending up in body bags, and and I think that's the reason why they haven't really came out publicly yet.
New
because,
order.
People are afraid.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'll check into that, because I started looking for Supreme Court judges, and there's one in New York, because just like Obama, okay, he's, I know I'm getting off subject, but he was born in Kenya, he's got a Kenyan father, and he's got a Hawaiian mother. When I was growing up, I always was taught that a natural-born citizen was born in, was born in the U.S. by 2 U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
And the Democrats changed the meaning of a natural-born citizen when McCain was running for president, because McCain was born on an army base out of the U.S. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I remember.
What it was is
because then they were trying to say it was an issue.
They knew that Obama was coming up in the next 4 years, and they had to change it so that he could run. But a natural-born citizen is someone born in the U.S. by two U.S. Citizens. And that's the way it's always been up until the Democrats changed it. And we need to take that back to the Supreme Court and have that changed back, first of all. Second of all, you know, America is getting so big with all the immigrants coming in. And I don't know if you follow Shirley. Gosh, I don't know her last name, but she's an activist out there in California near you. And she's saying that all these anchor babies are have come in, and they're growing up. They're growing up now, and they're running for offices out there in California. And of course, you know, if anchor babies are being put in office, who are they going to watch out for? They're going to watch out for other anchor babies or illegals. But we need to fix it where you have to be a natural born citizen to run for any public office.
Yeah, man.
It's getting out of hand. Even all these Muslim immigrants coming in that goes by the Quran, you know, that's being put in office. I've been talking for about 30 minutes. I won't cut it short. I mean, I better cut it. But yeah, we got to start standing up, and I'll look into it. What's it called? Constitutional?
Yeah,
what?
It's a group of people that's constitutionalists, and they're going to bring up a whole bunch of subjects about how these judges, these politicians, are doing everything against the Constitution. So actually, I'm not going to talk. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. But they're going to make themselves known. They're going to be public here, and I think it's going to flip the whole system upside down. Because to my understanding, because every single one of these politicians have broken the law according to the Constitution. And if you do that, that means the swamp is going to automatically drain itself. If they absolutely present it. And you know what? There used to be, when the Constitution was written, there was a group called the Constitutionalists. I'm not absolutely sure if that's the actual name that they went by, but they were a group, the Constitution, to make sure that the politicians stayed on track. But that kind of like fizzled away. This is the time that needs to come back, and it needs to come back stronger than ever. And then, you know what? Once it goes public, I think a lot of people are going to jump on board, and a lot of people will join in, because we have to, or we're going to lose this country.
I'm on board.
But just keep watching.
I'm on board.
Just keep watching. I'm gonna bring on a guest that's probably going to go into more detail with it.
I watch you all the time, Will. You keep up the good work, Mo. I watch you. For some reason, I got cut off from getting live feeds. I have to go back in and check that. But with Facebook messages up. But y'all keep up the good work, and it's been good talking to y'all.
Thank you.
Hey,
God bless.
appreciate
Have a good
it.
night.
Much love. God bless.
God bless y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
That's awesome. You know what? I love to hear people are so passionate about seeing actual true change in America. And you know what? We need to speak up now. I mean, we can't wait. This is the time for conservatives or Republicans, libertarians. This is the time we need to stand up, and we need to make our voices heard.
Rise up.
If any time before, you know what? You just said it. You just said it right there. They have the resistance. We have the rise. We have to rise. That's it right there. We have to rise because they have the resistance. When they resist, we go high.
We go high. But I'm gonna say this: Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against us is going to prosper, and every tongue that rises up against us shall be condemned. So every tongue that rises against us shall be condemned.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
the word right there.
Absolutely.
So.
I love it. Well, hey. Okay. The phone line is open. I guess we can take one more call. If someone wants to call in. 650-488-1076. We'll take one more. If anyone's brave enough to call in, it'd be nice if we can get someone who consider themselves a hardcore liberal. Maybe they can call in and tell us we're wrong. Just, keep the tone down.
I wish my cousin could call. Cuz, if you on here, call that number, Jonathan. Jonathan Merritt, call it. Call that number right up there. If you're watching my videos, call ASAP. We argued earlier.
Yeah, I don't think I get any of my cousins to call in. A lot of them.
He like to argue. Bring it in, cuz.
Really?
Yeah. That's my mom's side of the family.
Well, at least you still have the conversation with them. It's one thing to have. It's one thing that you can argue with each other, have conversation with each other, but then the next day you still talk to each other, so you can have more arguments and more conversation. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with having different opinions.
Cuz you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I tell him.
Hey, maybe this might be him. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Mike. I'm calling from Sound Beach, Long Island, New York.
New York. I love the accent. New York. So you calling to tell us how we wrong? What's going on?
You know what? I don't even know what you guys are talking about, but I've seen your videos before, and I saw you saying you're going to take one more caller. So I said, let me call. Find out what they're talking about.
I like your accent, New York. I'm from New York. I like your New York accent, man.
Yeah. Cool so accent. Basically, we're talking. What we've been talking. We actually talked about various things tonight, but one of the main things that we talked about is how Americans, no matter what color you are, we voted for Trump, and how we support Trump. Right. We support America. We support the flag. We support basic. We didn't talk get into detail about it, but basically we support the military. Plus support our police officers. And, if I've asked people to call in and tell me how I'm wrong for supporting our president.
Okay.
Or tell me how I'm right, if you agree. Say it again?
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said.
Well, cool.
100%.
Cool.
I'm an Army brat. I'm not Army brat. I'm an Air Force brat. I was born in McGill Air Force Base down in Florida.
My dude. What's up, man?
My father retired as a training sergeant from there.
Hey, thank y'all for y'all service.
Nice. You're in New York, and New York is just as, to my understanding, is almost, probably not as bad as California, but close enough.
Oh, God.
But close enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how is it being in New York, and you're dealing with, because I'm pretty sure you have liberal friends that you deal with on a daily basis.
Yep. Okay, yeah, but here's the deal. If you looked at the voting map, it was like New York City and all up towards upstate that all voted Hillary. But the farther you got out on Long Island, it was all Trump.
Really?
You know what? I think I've met two people that were like anti-Trump, strangers.
See, yeah, because according to I didn't know that. Because according to the media, the mainstream media, that New York was 100% Hillary. Well, not maybe 99% Hillary.
And you believe them? Come on, bro, man.
Now, I'm not saying I believe them.
Crazy.
Now, I didn't say that. I didn't say I believe them. I'm just saying according to the mainstream media. Because they always give us polls on who's doing good and who's doing bad. But you know how those polls turn out.
I even, when I did my taxes this year, everybody in the tax office was pro-Trump. I walked in with I put this T-shirt online. It says "Grab America by the pussy, make America feel great again." It's like a Trump shirt, and they're all cheering.
The best shirt that I have when I walk out, other than my United America First shirt, is the Hillary for Prison shirt. I get so many comments on that shirt.
The shit I got on.
I had my neighbor across the street does stickers. He does the bands and stuff where he puts the lettering on and stuff. And he's got one of those computer printout machines for vinyl.
Right.
And he made me up. You ever seen the stickers of like the boy with the Ford hat on, peeing on the Chevy symbol? Yeah.
I've seen those.
All right. Well, I had one made up that's got like Trump's face peeing on CNN.
Wow. You're going to have to send me a picture of that.
Yeah.
You need to send me a picture of that.
Absolutely.
Please, send me a picture of that so I can share that. I don't know if I'll be able to share it on my personal page because, the liberals might, try to get me putting Facebook jail.
I put it out everywhere.
Oh yeah, you got to put
I
it
put
in
it on
money,
Facebook
though.
so many times it's not even funny.
Yeah,
Read
Hey.
the horribles every.
it's crazy.
Pretty soon
Hey.
we're gonna have a
You know,
backup account if you keep.
If you go in the
putting
city,
paper
there's a
gel
lot of
in there.
people that work for Hillary.
Yeah. You know what? I'm so glad we didn't vote in Angela Merkel. I mean Hillary Clinton.
Oh, geez, this would be shit right now. Excuse my language.
Hillary.
It would. I mean, she's so. Did you hear the latest thing? The guy from Haiti, the ex-official from Haiti, who was supposed to
Okay.
testify before the Haitian Anti-Corruption Commission, and he was involved with the whole Clinton Foundation, right? And he was supposed to be testifying against Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. He was found dead yesterday in Miami.
Jesus.
No way.
Swear to, dude, it's on the internet right now.
No way. So what is, I guess, would that make 45 people dead
Something
behind
like
the
that.
Clintons now? I mean, the body count is ridiculous.
Woo!
It's the worst one. You know the biggest one that nobody really thinks about? And it's probably one of the first ones. And you know what? It just seems a little too weird. John F. Kennedy Jr., right? Hillary Clinton announced she was going to run for Senate in New York.
Yep.
So a couple of weeks later, John F. Kennedy Jr. announced he's going to run for president. Run for Senate in New York.
Good
against her.
Lord. This.
He dies in a private plane, flying his own plane.
Yep. I remember that. There's just
Yeah,
been body
weird.
count. It's been body count after body count after body count with dealing with the Clintons.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why Bernie Sanders went ahead and folded over like a little limp.
Mm-hmm.
He folded over because he didn't want to end up in a body bag either.
Oh, socialist
I
bastard.
firmly believe that. Firmly believe that.
Yep.
Now they supposedly, I saw a story on the internet, God knows if it's true, you know how many fake stories are on out there, but supposedly the pilot that was flying the jet that day when Clinton went on the plane, Bill Clinton went on the plane with Loretta Lynch, right? He's saying that Paul Ryan was on the plane too.
Really?
And he's supposed to be on Fox News on the 28th of July, and they're hiding his ass. So he doesn't get
Really?
killed.
Maybe he
Paul
should have
Ryan
been.
was on the plane with Loretta Lynch and Billy.
That's that. Don't take it as fact. 'Cause once
Yeah,
again, this is
I
from
like
the internet.
I like to see that. You know what? To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised.
Me either.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
Man,
at all, one bit.
he ran against everybody. He bucked the system so big. He said, "Screw you to the Democrats." He said, "Screw you to the Republicans."
Yep.
I'm draining the swamp.
Yep, and that's
None
why.
of them wanted him to be president.
Yep, and that's why a lot of us Americans, true Americans, voted for Donald J. Trump because he flipped the whole
That's
system
absolutely
upside
true.
down.
Yep. And you know what the funny thing is? If anybody ever really paid attention to this guy, and I'm from New York, so I used to see him on TV a lot. He's always talked politics. Always. For 30 years, he's been talking politics. Saying what a joke it is that we're supporting countries for nothing. Like, we supported Japan militarily for years for nothing. It's like, why aren't they paying for it?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? And that's
It's
I'm
true,
glad
though.
I'm glad you brought that up because you have all these people out here talking about, Trump is not doing anything for America, but he's doing so much. Personally, I think he's done more in the first 200 days than Obama did, in the past 8 years.
Amen.
Me too. Me too.
And
The
it
biggest
shows.
problem he's got. Oh yeah, the biggest problem he's got is this damn $19 trillion debt. Everybody keeps forgetting that. They're saying, "Oh, he's defunding Meals on Wheels." 3% of their net income came from a grant that was from the federal government. 3% doesn't even affect them.
A disaster.
It's insane. Planned Parenthood. So what? They keep saying that it doesn't go towards abortions. That's basically all they do is abortions.
Planned
And
Parenthood.
they're saying, "Oh, you can't tell me what I can do with my body."
Whatever.
Nobody's telling you can't do with your body, but you go out and get pregnant, you're paying for it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or get the guy to do it, one or the other. Why should American people have to pay for hundreds of thousands of abortions? Makes no sense.
Why?
Yeah, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
much
I mean,
further.
it's crazy how they're pushing all of these taxes and on all of us as American citizens, and it's paying for stuff that we never voted on. Is the money's going to God knows where, and then when we need the streets fixed, the infrastructure, they're like, we don't have the money.
Yeah, they passed a bill in Congress today that basically makes the military pay for sex change operations for troops.
In the military.
In the military. When somebody, a guy from actually it was a Republican congressman, spoke about it afterwards. I watched it on Fox News, so this is real. There was something like 24 of the Republicans that voted with the Democrats to do this. And the kicker of all of it is once a soldier starts taking the, if it's a male going to female, they take estrogen. If it's a female going to male, they take hormones. They have to be taken off active duty. So basically, they're decommissioned for 2 years while collecting pay and getting a sex change. And we pay for it.
See,
70% of our planes in the military can't fly because they're missing parts.
But we're going to pay for this.
Yes. Yes. Which, you know what? You got an issue with being a certain sex and you want to be a different sex, great. Whatever. You know, I don't run around saying how I like to have sex. You know what I mean?
That's their thing.
I don't care. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. It just doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're human beings. They got the same rights I do. I just don't care about their sexual orientation or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I sure as hell don't want to pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? Makes no difference to me.
What gets me is that they're okay with paying for people deciding that they want to have a sex change. They're okay for us paying for that. But they're not okay for us paying for our military to get better gear. They're not okay for us paying for the police department getting better gear. They're not okay for us paying for building a wall to protect it. They're not okay.
Tall.
They're not okay with any of that. But they're okay with these people because they feel a certain way. I feel like a millionaire. So I should be able to walk into the bank because I feel like they need to give it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I mean, I don't mean to make light of it, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. There's people now that are recognizing people that what do they call it? They see themselves as babies. There's one woman that sees herself as a building. She wants to legally marry a building.
A building.
A building. No lie. It's an old train station, and I believe it was in Tennessee or something like that.
So when they get a divorce, who gets half? And what half do they get?
Difficult one.
Yeah. Have Eddie.
So when they get in an argument, they fight who sleeps in the dog house.
I won't have Eddie.
Breaks a window on her.
What have you done for me lately?
You know, something they don't talk about when it comes to this border wall, right? Every single person that crosses the border has to pay the cartels. If you watch that show, Border Wars, they'll sit the border security will ask them, what did it cost you? How much do you have to pay? They'll say $1,500, $2,500. It's not cheap. So if they don't have money, they had to carry bundles over, right? There was a woman who has a ranch in Texas. She was saying how her husband found a rape tree, down by the Rio Grande that was on their property. So every single person that comes across the border is human trafficked, one way or another. But they're not talking about that, you know?
It's sad.
You there?
I mean, it's sad. I had a gentleman.
Know, it really.
Yeah, I had a gentleman call in last night talking to him about, the border, and he was trying to suggest that Donald J. Trump is racist against Mexicans because he want to put up the wall, talking about, Mexico's only sending over the rapists, the killers, the drug dealers, and everybody knows that that's the only people that's coming across the border. But we do know, and we all agree, he even agreed last night, that We have people that's on the border that's doing the drug trafficking, doing the gun trafficking, and they're also doing human trafficking of children. And I said, so and I straight up asked him, so shouldn't we try to at least address that issue, address that problem? Can we stop it? No, we can't stop all of it, but should we try to stop it? And he just want to avoid the question and move on to something else.
Yeah. I called into another show, and they were talking about, immigration and the border wall and all that. And it was a liberal show. And so I went on there saying, look, I told them what I just said to you. And they're like, oh, you're a racist. I said, I'm a racist. My last name is freaking Diaz. What are you talking about?
Diaz. You Puerto Rican man?
I said, I'm half Mexican. What do you mean I'm racist? I hate my own people, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Whoa, okay.
It shut him down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. There's actually a meme going around, a picture with a whole bunch of different patriots on it. I know Hareem is on there. There's quite a few people on this picture. I didn't make the list, but they're calling Hareem, and there's other Mexicans on there. Actually, I don't think I saw any black people on it. Oh no, I take it back. There was a black woman on there. And
no Negroes.
Some white people, and there was some white people in there. There was one black woman on there, and at the top of it, they said these are the racist people pushing the hate out in America. And I know Hareem is not racist, and he's not hateful,
right?
But they're trying to say because you support America, you support the president, you support the military, you support the police officers, and you respect our American flag, that you are a racist in America.
That's unbelievable.
And I'm like, for me, how was it they're fixing their mind to do this? What's inside of their head? What's inside of their mind to think that this type of thinking is okay?
Yeah.
It's just to go against Trump, because I tell you what, Chuck Schumer, senator from New York, right, not my district, thank God, when was it? I think it was 6 years ago. In the Senate, gave a speech saying that they have to build a wall. The refugees that are coming here have to be extremely vetted. I mean, everything Trump's saying, he said. Nancy Pelosi backed him up. She was standing right behind him when he said it. Who else? Obama. God, he went up there when he was a senator saying the same thing. They have to shut the border down, build a wall, blah, 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 the whole bit. Everybody. And now it's like a complete flip. You're a racist if you want to build a wall. You know what I mean?
And they don't want to think about it as
you're a racist because you want to protect the country. That makes you a racist because you want to put America first. So that makes you a racist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because you about we patriots. That make you a racist.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
I got a solution for all the millions of illegals that are here. Right. The United States has been letting in 1 million immigrants, legal immigrants, a year, right? Cut that number down to 250,000 and accept 750,000 illegals that are here now, that don't have criminal records, make them citizens. And do that for like the next 10 years.
Well, see, I know they brought in, and the Democrats, this is their part of their agenda, or part of their plan. And they did the same thing. They did the same thing with black people. They convinced black people, and now they're doing it with Hispanics and Latinos, that the Democratic Party is the party for minorities. And the only thing that they want is to get these people to vote for them so they can remove the Republicans. And I guarantee it, people that don't pay attention to what's actually happening right now, and if you don't get out and you don't make noise, you don't start talking come 2018, the liberals are going to do what they can to remove every single Republican. Not that I like Republicans, but they're a lot better than these Democrats. But they're going to get out and they're going to try to vote out every single Republican that they can, so they can reverse Trump making America sovereignty. They do not like the fact that they're allowing Trump to make America great. They don't like the fact that Trump is putting America first. They don't like that. They are so supportive. Yeah, they are so supportive of the globalist system
Yes.
And you know what? What really kills me is that not even maybe 2 years ago, I would have conversations with liberals, and I would have the conversation, and I would bring up the one world order with them. You guys want a one world order, and these liberals would straight up say that there's no such thing as a one world order. CNN today. Well, it wasn't even today. CNN, it was like a couple of days ago when Trump was overseas at the G20 summit, and they were complaining. They were talking about the people that was there protesting the G20 summit, calling them anti-globalists. CNN and these liberals are 100% for the globalist system right now. Today, we are biblically in the end times. And I don't ever really get on here and talk about end times, what's going on, because we don't know exactly when it's going to happen. But for it to be so blatantly in our face that you are bad if you speak up against the globalist system is a clear indication that we are in those times. We are blessed to be here to see this happen.
Listen to this.
The last one standing.
The UN is trying to pass a resolution, right, that bans guns to civilians in all countries. They're trying to pass this right now.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
If this gets passed, that means that all the civilians in the United States aren't allowed to own guns.
Oh, but you know what? That's not going to happen. That ain't going to happen.
Nah, Nikki Haley's going to save the day on that one. All it takes is the United States to veto it, and that's it. Done.
Oh yeah. That's not going to happen.
You know what? Here's one fact for you that a lot of minorities forget about, especially black people. Right? In 1860, prior to the beginning of the Civil War, there were over 4 million slaves in the United States. Not one was owned by a Republican.
I believe it.
What do you think of it?
No, I believe it.
Truth.
Because I believe it. Because you know when and a lot of people. Another thing, a lot of people don't realize when the Civil War took place, it wasn't over slavery. It was over.
No,
it was over. It was over Democrats.
It
was over Democrats not wanting to pay property tax over the slaves that they owned.
Yes.
Right.
And a lot of people don't even realize that.
It was like definitely part of it, but
what about Planned Parenthood fund about
me,
Margaret Sager, the KKK lady? You know?
The Democrats are the one that formed the KKK.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was all Democratic.
Absolutely. You know, the Democrats
Margaret
formed
Sager.
every. This is what it is. The Democrats they've either supported or they've created every single hateful group that's ever been created. Every single one of them, the KKK, BLM, Antifa, BAM, Black Panthers, the Weather on the Ground, and now ISIS.
Yep.
So they've either created them or they supported them 100%.
I agree
It's
with it.
unbelievable.
100% agree with it. It's crazy. It absolutely is.
Yep.
Yes.
It absolutely is.
Yep.
And the Democrats were real bad. About 15 years ago, they weren't so bad. You know, they weren't as like far left as they are now.
No, they
Now,
actually actually were. They actually were, in my opinion. It's just because of the election of Trump, it just all brought it to surface. It just brought it all to surface.
Oh yeah, they can't handle it.
Yeah.
You know what? If 2018 rolls around and they're still running their mouths the way they are now, I guarantee you they're going to lose so many seats, their heads are going to be left spinning.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
They're just sick of hearing it.
I think you know, Trump releasing that single email. I think they are they're playing the media.
You did.
They're showing everybody that they cannot talk, they cannot think about anything else. The media is so one-sided. They're so tunnel vision. They can't even report on what the actual events that's taking place in the world.
Yep.
You know
this whole thing with Trump Jr. That lawyer, the Russian lawyer, is connected to Fusion GPS, which is the company that came up with that fake dossier on Trump.
Yep.
And they also tried to contact Senator Manchin, who's a Republican, and he filed a protest with like FBI or somebody about that. But all this, it's all coming back to the DNC. It was all money funded by them, and that lawyer was not granted a visa to come into this country twice, right? Then she put in for a special probation, they call it, through the State Department because she was a lawyer that was litigating a case that had to do with seized property from a Russian guy. So Loretta Lynch's State Department okayed it and then let her stay past her time or at the expiration date.
Rumor has it that they deliberately set this meeting up with Trump Jr. just so they could have record of it, so they can try to make it look like collusion between them and Russia. And see, what threw them off is because he released the email first.
Right.
See, they weren't anticipating
but now
that.
They're saying today that there's supposedly up to three more people in the room besides what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and it did strike me because they showed the interview with her and she didn't speak English, right? So I'm thinking to myself, automatically, she had to bring an interpreter, but they're not talking about that. Why is that? You know, she didn't speak English at all. It was an English-speaking interview. And so I was like, that's odd. Why is she not mentioning that? So supposedly the guy that sent him the original email, the entertainer, I think it was, he was there too. And then there was this third guy who was like he was an American citizen, but he was in the Russian military for 2 years. And they're saying he had links to Russian intelligence. So, you know, this is just coming out now. And it's like, were they kidding me or is this true?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? I wouldn't put it past them to send a guy in as an interpreter, you know, and say, "Hey, my name's Joe. You know, I'm an interpreter. Blah blah blah. She doesn't speak English." You know, and then all of a sudden, okay, this guy's like supposedly ex-Russian intelligence. The whole thing's crazy.
Yeah, it's all a setup. And you know what? I think the Trumps they read it from jump, and that's the reason why the main reason why they went ahead and released that single email. You know, I mean, here it is. Here it is. We have Hillary Clinton that had over 30,000 emails.
30,000.
And they can't wrap their mind around one email.
Yeah, and now you know what? They just released some information about that too. Judicial Watch got it. They were subpoenaed. I think it was 2 tablets and a phone, or 2 laptops and a tablet, something like that. And they sent them in. Right? They complied. They gave them the laptops and the tablet. And when they got them, the hard drives were removed. There were still hard drives in the damn things, and it just came out. So she turned over the stuff, but with nothing in it at all.
But that's okay.
Paperweights, basically.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's not an issue. That's not an issue. She's doing her security.
Well, I was watching the confirmation hearings on the new FBI director, and he was asked about the Clinton investigation, and he basically stated, he goes, as a civilian, as I am right now, and possibly the head of the, possibly going to be the director of the FBI, I shouldn't speak about an investigation. I shouldn't criticize or say anything else. He goes, but I will tell you one thing, I would have never went on TV and made a public statement about it.
Yeah.
That was Comey's problem. Comey had 2 big problems. One, he committed political suicide when he went on television and said he was going to reopen the case or drop the case, a couple of times he went on. And he's not a politician, but he committed political suicide. Then the second thing was, and I think it's the only reason he held on to his job, I think Trump would have came in and fired him. But the first time he met Comey at Trump Tower in January when they showed him the fake dossier, right, he told him flat out he wasn't under investigation. But he didn't tell anybody. Right? He told him 3 times that he was not under investigation at all. Right?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't confirm that with anybody. Right? So he put Trump in a position where he's like, all right, I can't fire the guy. He's the head of the FBI, and he says I'm not under investigation. But he's not telling anybody. That's why he was so damn frustrated. And when he heard, look, I'm at home recovering from hip surgery, so all I do is watch this crap on TV. When he heard Feinstein come out and say that they have no evidence, right, and that basically Trump's not under investigation, she didn't say it, but she hinted at it, that's when he fired Comey, was the next day.
Yeah. Yep.
And the worst part, here's the best part. Chuck Schumer, my buddy he's a member of the Gang of Eight who is privy to all classified information. They get briefed all the time, right? He was told that Trump was not under investigation. 3 weeks later, he goes on the Senate floor and says that they should not vote on any confirmations for Donald Trump because he's under investigation, when he knew damn well he wasn't.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I remember that. Well, hey, I want to thank you for calling in.
Oh, no problem at all. Sorry I took it over.
Nah, you're
It's
good.
all
You're
good,
good. I enjoyed you calling in, and do it again in the future, sir.
Well, thank you.
God bless, bro.
You guys keep up the good work, all right?
Yeah, have a good.
You too, man.
God bless. Good night.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Hello.
Shalom.
What's up, Will Johnson? This is Thaddeus Alexander, man.
What's going on? Hey,
What up, dude, man? What up, Alexander?
Turn your computer down in the background so it doesn't feedback through, if you don't mind, please, sir.
I love this dude, man. Hey, he real. Hey, he one of us, Will.
Man, I tell you, man, I'm really loving the fact of seeing you and Big Mo up there.
Yeah.
That's my brother from another mother. My twin from another mother.
I tell you, they calling y'all racist because y'all light skinned. That's what it is.
We high yellow Negroes. Okay.
We're not supposed to be supporting the president. We're not supposed to be supporting a flag in America when we live in America.
Man, I am as dark as your scarf, so I'm definitely ain't supposed to be supporting them.
Right. I see you. Hey, I love you, dude. You be tripping me out, man. I be watching your YouTube all the time. I like that one video you put. I'm cooning.
I tell you guys,
you funny,
I tell
dude.
you guys what, man. You guys are talking about, Donald Trump Jr. In my opinion, man, he made a rookie mistake. He's new in politics, He got overzealous, you know what I mean? He got a little overzealous where he was like, look, I'm going to do anything to win this thing, and he got excited, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But people are taking it too far, but they overlooked the fact that, Hillary Clinton was your Secretary of State, and she didn't know what a confidential document was.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, the letter C, that's for like cookie in the email, right?
Right.
The letter C.
Man, I've worked for the CIA and I've worked for, the FBI and the State Department. And the thing is this, man, the game has changed when it's come to security and keeping your mouth shut, man. I've lost plenty of friends that did 2, 3, 10 years in prison for silly mistakes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the game has changed so much. But what excites me and why I'm glad they go after Trump, this is why I'm glad they do that. Because have you noticed that every time they go after Trump or anybody that's on board with him, something dirty comes up about the Clintons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed they were talking today about how Trump was releasing information about the Clintons, and they were getting upset about it, talking about, well, she's not president. She's not president. But you know what? When she was colluding with the Ukraine during the election, and that's actually been proven, they don't want to talk about that.
Well, exactly. They don't want to. I mean, they got all excited and pressured Comey into testifying. And who did it hurt? The Clintons again.
Exactly.
Yes.
Then they brought up a whole bunch of questions, about Rice, and everything that they were doing. Linda, I'm just throwing a blank. But it brought up a whole bunch of questions. It brought up a whole bunch of questions. With Loretta Lynch, that's what I'm trying to say. Loretta Lynch, Susan Rice, Obama, and all the stuff that they were doing when they brought Comey in there, because then Comey just started running his mouth, and you notice they were like, "Oh man, we need to shut him up."
Exactly, man. But see, here's the thing: the Democratic Party is like this, man. They're like a stranger in the desert in a foreign land. And they're digging and desperate people take desperate measures. You know what I'm saying? So they're digging and digging, thinking they're gonna find water. And what it is unintentional political party suicide is what I like to call it.
Uh-huh.
Instead of getting yourself back together, you know what I'm saying? Instead of getting your party back together and moving in a positive direction, you're so desperate that you're digging yourself in a hole that you are not going to be able to get out. And that's exactly how the Republican Party was created in 1854. There was destruction between the Dixiecrats and the Democrats, and another party popped up. So it's easy to start another party when you're messing up and you're fighting amongst yourselves. And I like to throw a couple of those Republicans, or so-called Republicans, in there with them, man. They're just bad. Need to clean house.
Ryan.
You know, Trump needs to go through and clean house with everybody.
Yeah. I mean, he has to, but right now, you know, these swamp monsters are clogging up the plug, and that's one of the main reasons why he has his family in there, because he doesn't know which one of these swamp monsters he can trust, because they're all in the swamp. They're all banded together.
Ryan.
They're all crooked. They're all crooked career politicians.
If he wants, just like anything else, man, if he wants to find out who's not on his side, follow the money, man. You look at the revamp of the Obamacare, or Affordable Health Care Act. People hate to say Obamacare now because it's crap. But you look at the Affordable Health Care Act, it gets to the Senate, and the only thing they want to add in is $45 billion for opiate abuse. But if you follow that money, I guarantee you the ones that want to add that in there are being funded by big pharmaceuticals, because they know people are addicted to opiates. They're going to have to go into treatment, and then you got to buy methadone or whatever other treatment to try to cure these people. And 90% of the people who go to rehab that are hooked on opiates or heroin, 90% of them relapse. So it's never-ending money for the pharmaceutical companies. Exactly. So if he wanted to, I guarantee you, if you look at any of the senators who wanted to add that in, that's where they were getting the money from.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's in the millions, if not billions of dollars.
Oh yeah, man. These guys make $192,000 a year. But you look at people like Pelosi, her net worth is $212 million. Now, you know, I'm not a financial genius, but that just don't add up to me.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, all of them are crooked, and they're making all these under the table deals, and there's so much money floating around, and they get to do it because they've been there pretty much all of their lives, 30 years, 40 years. Yeah,
and it's sad, man. And American people are being duped. And I don't know if you guys know, but I helped my buddy Corey Stewart run for. He went for the primaries for the governor of Virginia, and we lost. He's a nobody. We lost to Ed Gillespie by 1.1% when they didn't think we would get a vote. Well, we plan to continue on this, and we're going to take out Mr. Kane, who was our senator here in Virginia. So Corey's back on track now, and he's running for Senate. So these swamps got to go, man, and we need to start electing real Americans. It shouldn't cost millions of dollars to run for public office. We need to start running for real Americans. There's many of us out there. There's people all over the country who would run for politics and be true American. I'm a nationalist, man. I believe in American first. Bottom line. But we need to start voting these people out.
Absolutely. And that's why, you know, one thing when I talk about next year, 2018, these people that are, you know, earlier we were talking about people being in these democratically ran states. We need to say the same thing the president said. What the hell do you have to lose? We need to vote them out. We've got to. We've got to make, that's the only way we're going to make serious change in America right now. We've got to get rid of these people that are destroying this country that don't care. Do have nothing to lose. We need to give them, we need to put new people in there. For example, here, Maxine Waters is running against, she better wake up. Because right now, Omar Navarro, he's making a lot of noise. He's making headway, and he's running against Maxine Waters. And she is one of the major swamp monsters that really need to go. Her, Dianne Feinstein, and Nancy Pelosi, sorry, need to go.
Man, I read about that dude, man, and I like what he has to say personally. But I had Bob Goodlatte. I don't know if y'all know him, but he's a congressman here in Virginia. I ran into him at a conference, and he said to me, "How are you going to run for political office and you don't have an attorney degree or a political science degree?" And I told him, I said, "Look, you got 535 people up there in Congress and Senate in the House, and they got at least one of those, and they can't get nothing done. So I'm sure I can't fail."
You know what? You hit the head on the nail. I mean, absolutely. And how many of those people that are up on the Hill even know the Constitution? You know? How many of them know? Because I guarantee that I'll guarantee that a majority of them don't even know it because they're going against the Constitution in the first place.
And it's not that big. It's not that long. People think the Constitution is a long document. It's not that long.
It's actually not. I mean, that's why they have the pocket Constitution you can put in your pocket and carry it around with you. You're absolutely right.
Right. It is not that long. So, I mean, you know, my time, you know, people, you know, I got senators and stuff around here that are trying to get me to go. I'm not ready yet. Maybe 2020. I have no clue. But right now, I'm going around, and people need to really read about these senators that are running in 2018. And if they don't want to set term limits for themselves, then vote for anybody but them. And you set the term limits. The American people set the term limits. We don't need them to write a document to say this is the law. We can set the law at the ballot box.
I completely agree. And we need to do that. We need to do that. So, you know what? Let me ask you. So, what suggestion you have that we can get people to actually get up and start making noise? Because we can sit here and talk about it all day, but getting people to actually get out and step up, to show up, and I mean, because they need to go to the town hall. So, how do we get it across to people that just listening to people talk about it is not going to get anything done? We can sit here and talk until we run out of air. But people need to wake up to realize we have to show up to these town halls. We've got to go to the ballot boxes. 2018, we've got to vote like never before.
Amen.
But you're doing something. You're doing something right now, Will, and so is Maurice, and so is myself, by having these conversations. You know what I mean? But my intention is this. I spend a lot of my own money traveling around and talking to people. I don't collect nothing from nobody. I own a shop, and, you know, that's it. Am I hungry and starving? Not even close to that. But the bottom line, it does take money to get around. So my goal was this. I started a list of all the people that are up to lose their seats in 2018. And I want to go and attack the ones that are a shoe-in, those ones that they just know they're going to win. And we need to cause them to lose. Now, I know we're not going to we got all the House seats up, if I'm not mistaken. I know that I won't get a whole bunch of them. But if I just get one or two or maybe three ones that are surely supposed to win and cause them to lose, they will open their eyes and say, these people are for real. They are serious.
Yeah, and
I was supposed to win, just like Hillary. Just like Hillary. She knew she was going to win. And look how the Democrats woke up and go, whoa. We need to do that with the Senate and the House.
Yep. And you know what? I set up, I think it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning here. And I stayed up until the election was over. And I just saw the meltdown go on all these liberal stations. And then they, you know, showing the people crying. And even what was her name? Megyn Kelly on Fox News. She was having a meltdown herself on Fox, talking about what's happening. I can't even believe this is actually happening. You know, she was having a meltdown because seriously, a majority of America thought that he was not going to win because people were thinking, okay, Hillary's going to win. She's Hillary Clinton.
She's up in the poll, right?
So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We need to bring it to these people that think that it's just going to be handed to them and show them that we are Americans and we're not going to sit down and allow that to take place. I completely agree with you.
Exactly, but people like us, man, like I can't vote in California, but if you think I won't fly out to California to cause Maxine Waters to lose, you're wrong. It's not about my state. It's about sending a message to say we are serious, that we do not want it. They asked me on Fox News, when they interviewed me on Fox News, on Fox and Friends, right after the election, they said, were you surprised that Trump won? And I said, no. She goes, and Ansley goes, well, the what do you call it? The whatever they do, the numbers or whatever was showing that there's no way. They said, well, how did I said, look, first of all, you guys do all these polls and you talk about the white vote, the black vote, the gay vote, and you sit up here and there's not one black person here at Fox. How many black people did you ask? And let me tell you, I live in a rural area, and it's a little different than the city. If daddy votes for Trump, mama voting for Trump. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They don't ask the right people. They don't ask the right people. They concentrate on cities like L.A., Philadelphia, New York, Washington, D.C., Richmond. There's a lot of people that live in the rural area that you're not sending those polls to.
Yes.
And that's how you got surprised. Because in my area, I didn't see one Hillary sign.
Woo!
Not one. In almost a 200-mile ride.
Wow. Because, I don't think anybody wanted her except for the mainstream media and the elites. That's the only people that really wanted her. And according to them, that's the only thing that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I own a house in Northern Virginia, too, and when I went up there, Hillary signs all over the place. So that's just small. Yeah, all over the place. But if you got to the rural area, which there's a lot more rural Virginia than there is city, nothing but Trump.
Yep.
But anyway, I just want to give a shout out to you guys, man. Seeing both of you guys together just made me really excited. I hope that we'll meet someday. Man. I don't know if you guys are going to the Moore out here in D.C.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. Absolutely.
Definitely. We definitely got to hook up. I don't live that far, so there's no excuse for me. Mother of all rallies. I'm trying to do some things as I live really close. What's that?
Yes, sir. I got your number, man. I got your number.
Yeah, we'll most definitely see you there.
We'll be there, man. Hey, I love your videos, dude, man.
But anyway, you guys stay with the fight. I got your back and everything else, my man.
Yeah,
hey, I got your back, bro.
Absolutely, we got your back. We got each other's back. You know what? We have to have America's back.
Yes,
exactly. That's what it's about.
You dig?
Right. Hey,
well, you brothers have a good night, my man.
You too. God bless.
All right, my man.
All right, God bless. All right, Mo.
All right, later.
All right, man. Deion Alexander, man. Yeah, I watch a YouTube channel all the time, man.
Yep,
dude.
yep.
It's real
go ahead.
dude.
Hold on 1 second.
All right. I know his dread thicker than mine. A little thicker.
All right, sorry about that.
All right. You're good.
You know what?
You're good, man.
Yeah, man, I love him too. I mean, dude, he's so on it. He's on point.
Yeah. I'm like, dude. He said, I'm coming.
Yeah, he said, I'll come to California. I'll go to California. You know, we need more people to just understand that we love this country. And we're not going to stop. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on with me tonight, dude. We've been on here 2 hours plus.
Anytime with it. Whoa, that's the longest I ever been on a video.
Really?
I limit my live videos like 30 minutes at an average.
Really?
I kind of like, man, I love it, man. Be on here with Willie Will.
Yeah, so, I actually was streaming live on YouTube as well as Facebook, and and people just interact on both locations. I wish I could get more people to participate and join in on the YouTube, because I'm afraid that for what we're saying, and because we support our president, that a lot of people think that Facebook is going to end up shutting us down because they don't like what we're saying. And we're not saying to be mean. We're not saying to be violent towards anybody. All we're saying is that we love this country and we want this country to be great. And there's nothing wrong with it. And Trump is the president of the United States. Yes. I didn't care for Obama. I didn't like the things that Obama was doing, but I never called that we should be violent towards him. I never said that, I don't even recall anyone talking about he needed to be impeached. I'm pretty sure it happened, but not like this. The media was not, having a frenzy anytime Obama did something. He did a few things here and there, and maybe Fox News reported on it, but Fox News, after they report on it, they let it go. They moved on. But the liberal left media, they cannot let it go, talking about this single email, and they drive it in and drive it in. It's to the point to where I guarantee, if you go turn it on right now, that's what they're talking about. This email, this one email, and talking about, well, who else was in the meeting? Did they make any phone calls? We want to see the phone records. Is there any collusion between them and the Russian government? There's no collusion still. They can't find anything. And the mainstream media right now, they're playing damage control.
Yep.
That's all that they're doing right now. They're playing damage control. That's all they're doing, because of the Veritas video that came out that showed everything that they were doing, trying to find something to go against Trump.
Yep. Something, man.
Clear as day.
Yes.
Clear as day.
Rise up, Will, man. We rising up, bro.
So, all right. Hey, like I said, I want to thank you for coming on here with me.
I appreciate it, man. Before I get out of here, man, I want to give a shout out, man.
Absolutely.
To my inspirations, man. First, I'm going to give a shout out to my aunt, Deborah Delk. She inspires me a lot. Much love for you, auntie, man. Y'all can check out our YouTube channel. Y'all can check her out, man. She's very inspiring. What I'm saying? Will, you inspiring? Deion Alexander. Love y'all, man. What I'm saying? Henry David. Hey, my other sister, Hope Coleman. Much love. Much love to everybody, man. Friend, Tammy, all of y'all, man. Much love to everybody. If I forgot your names, hey, I love y'all. Don't take it personal. Y'all inspire me too.
That's awesome.
And Andreas, with your crazy self, man. Andreas, I love you, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna thank everybody. We'll thank everybody that joined us. Let's take one more. Oh. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Ty Hardaway. I was calling from Dallas, Texas.
How's it going? You're going to be our last caller.
Okay, good. Because I got something to kind of give you some information in reference to immigration, and these are all facts. So
we want to raw and uncut, man. Raw and uncut.
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
Well, first of all, I've been working on immigration for about 5 years, and I'm in Dallas, Texas right now. And what I did was I listened to the Republican side, the Democrat side, the independent side, and I went to churches, and then I talked to a lot of Hispanics. So I just took it all in and kept notes for like 3.5 years. Then I started taking bits and pieces of it from everything that I heard, and I came up with a 5-phase plan on how you fix immigration. First of all, you can't fix immigration until you know who you have here. So in order to fix the problem, you got to understand the problem. So that's for starters. We need somebody that's independent. Really, the government should not be dealing with trying to fix immigration like that. We should have an independent company that's willing to get out there and work with our government to solve immigration. That way, there's no political backbite. There's no politicians trying to be, when they call these individuals that are trying to influence the decision-making process. We don't need all of that. So what I said in my 5-phase plan is we need to, first of all, anybody who is willing to say, okay, we'll come to this office, we'll give you our right name, and we'll work with Homeland Security. We'll basically fingerprint you, take a picture. After we do that, Homeland Security looks it over, says, okay, we verify that the fingerprint is authentic. We know their right name. They answer the question that this is the country they came from. Homeland Security's job is to verify that they are telling the truth and that they did come from the country that they said they coming from. After that is verified, we go to phase 2. When phase 2 comes, we have a counselor go back out to the house of wherever they're from, and they say, okay, this is where I live, this is my family, this is where I'm working. If they don't have bills in their name, we have counselors that would be set up to help them get bills in their name. Then this is the big one right here, phase 3. Phase 3 is we would have somebody from our office along with the documentation from Homeland Security saying, yeah, we verified that the fingerprints are authentic, the photos are authentic, we verified that they said, they're from this country with their home country. They also, we verified with the field officer went to the house and said they have bills in their names and different things of that nature. We would deal with them with this documentation from the government saying, okay, we verified all of this. Now we want to try to assist them with helping them get a driver's license or an ID. Because a lot of them, that's the reason why a lot of immigrants don't have a driver's license. There's no steps put in place for them to get a driver's license. And it's not, and it's sad because our government that's supposed to protect us should be trying to take these same steps to ensure that we are protected, and they're not. Well, under my plan, when they go out and get this driver's license, guess what? Now they can get insurance. Because a lot of times we see like, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have a lot of accidents with individuals that don't have driver's license, no insurance. Well, this stops that. And as long as these people are in this program and doing the right things and not trying to hide, this is where we need our president to come in and say, you know what, if this is what we're going to do, and this is going to help us solve immigration, anybody who voluntarily gets in this plan, we are not going to arrest unless they've been convicted of a felony. Because that's the same statute and standard that we're held to. You're innocent until proven guilty or convicted. Are you following me so far?
Yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty unless you're a conservative or a Republican. Go ahead.
Say that one more time, man.
I said you're innocent until proven guilty unless you're a conservative or a Republican.
Right. You're right. I got you on that one. Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Are you running for political office?
Not running for political office, but I do study how politics is. I do study how politics is. The only reason I haven't ran for politics yet is because I did some time and then I moved on. And that's not to say that I cannot run, because look, we just elected Donald Trump, so anything is possible. If we got an individual that's wanting to get out there and do the right thing, I think it's time for us to have individuals to get out there and do that.
Yes.
Right now, I'm currently into the transportation field right now in the Dallas area with transportation, because that's a big thing down here in Dallas area. But that was phase 3. Let me move on to phase 4. Phase 4 is every 6 months, the individuals will be renewing the information in the database. And that's not costing the taxpayers one dime. That was another big reason why I said we don't need the government to do this. If we have an independent agency, which I have a building in place, I have a team that's ready to take, once we get the training on how to fingerprint them with Homeland Security and download the data, they'd be ready to go. And in the 5th phase of all of this is taking place. Now, keep in mind, this is not costing the taxpayers one dime. They're basically paying these fees. Every time we do a phase, it's a fee. And the fee is probably $50 or $75. But when you're doing this is how you fix immigration. That is how you get to move forward. That is how you're killing two birds with one stone. You're protecting our citizens, number one. And number two, you're holding them to the same phase. The last phase is if they're working, they might not get a Social Security card, but we can get Congress to authorize them the ability to have a tax ID card to pay taxes. And that's important. if the United States citizens have to do it, then by God, we need to uphold it and quit doing the political rhetoric and go ahead and put that in place. Now, in reference to the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, I've been looking at this for a long time. You know, the Republican Party has a stronghold on their base, and they stay with that base. It's just like the Democratic Party. We have too many people that have not seen the vision to move forward yet. And we're growing. We're not seeing the same idealistic type of, we don't have that same mentality that the old Democrats had. You know, back when I was raised up, it was, you know, Republicans or conservatives and Democrats are liberals. See, we've gotten away from that. Now, there's so much diverse out there, anybody can go out there and run for office, and it's going to happen because the good old boy system is starting to die on out. You don't think them Republicans is taking Pepto-Bismol every day because Trump's in there? You better believe it. They've never seen nothing like this. That's the sign that I've always told a lot of people. Here's the one thing that I do like about Donald Trump. I like the fact that he's different. I don't agree with him. I don't like the way he's running this country, but I like the fact that he's different. And sometimes that has to happen to bring about change. I'm just a little disappointed in us as a society because this is the time we're supposed to step up and be like, you know what? He did it. Now it's time for somebody else to carry that torch. It's time for somebody else to step up and say, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this. And another quick thing that I want to talk about really, really quick, and it's kind of jumping off subject, is this incarceration thing and the shootings that we've been having. And they both are tied in together. And it's all based around mentality. One of the things that I've noticed is you have individuals who are being incarcerated in these mass numbers. And we, as African Americans, we know that we are being disproportionately sentenced to longer sentences. We know this. And then when we talk to politicians and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, when we talk to like white people, they get sick of hearing it. But we as African Americans, we get tired of talking about it. Well, that's the problem. It's the same thing with like the police issues that we've been having. I'm not saying that I agree with these policemen who have shot people or slammed kids to the ground or nothing like that. But when I was raised, you respect an authority figure. Hello?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. We're listening.
Oh, okay.
I said preach.
You respect an authority figure, and what I'm noticing is you can't argue with a person with a gun. There has to be a way to where we can sit down and say, okay, how do we fix it? See, what we're doing is one side is the police are saying, well, we're hired to serve and protect, and then you have the citizens saying, well, we don't like the way they call themselves serving and protecting. One of the things that we've discussed down here with policemen in Dallas, especially after the shooting, they tell us, well, we're watching rapid eye movement and the way a person's his body language. You don't know if the person has Tourette syndrome, seizures, or nothing. So maybe the way that they're training them in these police academies are old and outdated. It's time to come up with a new method on how you interact with somebody. And then and this is how you resolve that. One side is telling you how they feel. The community talks about how they feel, but what we telling each other on both sides is we don't come up with a plan of action in the middle to say, well, as a police department, what do we need to do to correct it? As a citizen, what do I need to do to guarantee that when I file a complaint, it's going to be heard? And what do I need to do as a person to make sure my child's not going to be shot next? Or I'm going to make sure that I'm really being respected by that law official that's sitting up here telling me, well, let me see your ID and explain to me why you need to see my ID. Because there's a lack of confidence that's not there. We need to stop as a society and come to the table. And it is okay to disagree. That's one thing that's really plaguing us. We feel like just because two sides disagree, we can come up with a common sense resolution, and that's not the case. I don't know any married couple, whether they've been married 10 years, 10 days, or 10 centuries, that get along and agree on everything. It's okay to disagree. And my young parents out there, please, if you don't hear nothing else I done said in reference about the second issue that I've been discussing, please, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, and I'm not telling you how to raise your kids, I'm not. But you cannot raise your children as if they're friends. Because when you do that, They don't respect an authority figure. And when an authority figure is telling you, look, you need to turn around and walk away, this doesn't concern you. And they tell me, I ain't got to do that. Then that draws attention to them. And when this situation blows out of proportion, now you want to say, well, this cop was bad and different things of that nature, when all they had to do is walk away. Yep, see, there's a lot of power that we have to recognize.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
So let me ask you a question. So I take it you consider yourself to be a Democrat.
You know, I'm a registered Democrat, but if honestly in my heart, if there was a Republican out there that had the same mentality I had, that even though they might have been conservative, but if they wanted to say, okay, well, we're doing this wrong, we need to start paying attention to the issues at hand, we need to start addressing these racial issues, because I believe that you can have presidents that are conservative. Reagan was somewhat like that. The only thing what Reagan did back in his day was he got tough on drugs, the epidemic on crack, and that's what really started the disproportionate number of sentences.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't want to just say, even though I'm a registered. Go ahead.
So let me ask you. So you say you're a registered Democrat. Did you vote in this last election?
Yes, sir, I did.
So I mean, you don't have to tell me. I'm just kind of curious.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Who did you vote for?
Tell us.
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
You voted for Hillary Clinton.
And the reason I voted for I voted for Hillary Clinton. I had an issue with both candidates. Number one. Number two, I voted for Hillary because I believe Hillary would have been the one to keep the country moving toward the right direction. I don't believe that she would have been the best, candidate, but I believe she would have been better than Trump. And my issue with Hillary was, how did you let someone from the Democratic National Party come and do something like Debbie Schultz or whatever her name was to Bernie Sanders to undermine his campaign? And
Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
For you. Right. She did, and the emails clearly show that she did some underhanded things toward Bernie Sanders and his campaign to underhand him and undermine him so that he would lose.
So
that is the head of your...
Let me ask you another question.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you another question. So,
sure.
by your accent, I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, that you're a black male.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna just tell you this. When I used to live in Arkansas, and I was in Arkansas when Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton was the governor.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and it stuck with me even today, that when Bill Clinton was the governor in Arkansas, that they were running this advertisement on the radio for people to buy stocks into these prison systems. Mm-hmm. And for the life of me, I could not. I mean, I was like, for the life of me, I thought it was completely crazy that you're buying stock into prison systems. And when I was in Arkansas, I was working this electrician job, and this electrician just came from Texas, because Texas has a whole bunch of open space, right? So this electrician was telling me that they were building these prisons as far as the eye can see. He said they were building prisons like houses. Mm-hmm. Well, during the same time when they were running this advertisement for people to buy stocks in these prisons, this was a bill, and Hillary Clinton was working it to lock up people in these prisons. And that's the same time that Hillary Clinton was calling black people super predators. And right after they got through building these prisons, they locked up so many black people, it was almost like it was almost like genocide. They were locking up so many black people, and people don't even realize it, and people don't even know it. And then if you try to show people some of the articles and show some of the history about it, they don't even believe it. But I was there. I had cousins. I had family members that end up in those very prisons for some of the dumbest mistakes. I mean, people make mistakes. And if you commit a crime, you need to do the time. But they deliberately went after black people. And for the life of me, and a lot of people don't even realize that, and they make sure they kept that information suppressed during the election because they didn't want people to realize that she was doing that. And it did come out a little bit, but people didn't believe it at that point. And it was at that point it didn't matter. But I'm not saying that, you voted for her is actually a bad thing, because you should be able to vote for who you want to.
Right.
I just don't agree with the vote. And the reason why I voted for Trump is because
Sure,
I
right.
knew that history about the Clintons. And it's the same thing with Haiti. And all that information came out about Haiti.
Right.
Billions of dollars disappeared after the Haitian people had that storm come through. And the Clinton Foundation benefited from all that. And even today, there's people still living in huts in Haiti because the money never got from the Clinton Foundation to them. If you just go out there, I mean,
Right.
I'm not gonna, I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to come down or anything on you or anything because you voted for.
No, I didn't take
It's
it that
just-
way,
it's
brother.
just-
I appreciate you waking me up to that because I didn't know that.
I would just
I
encourage
really
you.
hadn't known that.
Yeah, I would just encourage you to just go online and just, just for yourself. Don't take my word for it. By all means, do not take my word for it. So just go online and just Google the Clinton Foundation in Haiti. And dude,
Okay.
when I did that, I'm like, oh my God. And there's actual people in Haiti that are talking about the issue. They're talking about, and they're showing videos with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton in Haiti saying, yeah, we're going to do this for you and do that for you. And none of it ever happened. And then, and it's
Research,
like,
brother.
why are we going to put this person in office? And then you made a statement earlier that she would have kept the country going on the right track. Be honest with you, I think the country was going on the wrong track because never before.
Oh, it is. I agree with you. I was saying she actually was the lesser of two evils, and I felt like she would have kept the countries closer united than what they are right now.
Do you still think that
Lesser of
today?
two evils,
Do you
right?
still
You
think
said
that
two
today?
evils. Why he evil?
Okay, here's how I'm basing my decision off the statement I'm making. Who would have united the country better, Hillary or Donald? Donald still hasn't done anything for the African Americans or the Latino community since he's been elected. Only thing he's at right now, we have chaos, uncertainty, and we have a lot of federal agencies that are really showing their true colors in reference to being kind of discriminatory.
Okay, let me stop you real quick. Let me stop you real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So you said that Trump.
The word I said.
You said Trump hasn't done anything for the black community.
I haven't seen anything. I mean, he made a couple of statements to Black History Month, but I haven't seen.
Okay. Let me just tell you one thing that he did that really stood out to me.
Tell him, Will.
Sure.
But I'm gonna touch about what happened before Trump did what he did. When Obama was in office, his first term, the black colleges came to him. There's an organization. They came to him for funding, and the funding that they give to these black colleges allow them to to do more for the schools and stuff like that, because there's still today there's black colleges that are in America. Okay, so they fund these so they can help the inner city kids to get an education and to try to bring up more black people into the workforce, et cetera, et cetera. When Obama was in office, he gave them $4 billion for 7 years. Okay.
Okay.
When Trump, when they came to Trump, and they asked for the same budget, Trump not only gave him $4 billion, but he gave him $21 billion to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the kind of information that needs to be put out there.
Exactly.
That's the stuff
All right.
Exactly.
That's the kind of stuff that unites. Let us know.
Okay.
Educate us and let us
$21
know.
billion more.
He didn't have an ear. Listen.
So he didn't have to do that. He could have said, "Okay, here go another $4 billion. Here go another $4 billion."
Listen.
He said, "No, you get this $4 billion and another 21."
See, that's
amazing.
That's the
to
kind
me.
of information that needs to come out.
And one more thing. Trump said when he first went to office, he said, "I'm giving Chicago until the end of 2017 to start fixing the issue or start addressing the issue aggressively in Chicago so you can stop having these black babies killing black babies. He said that. And guess what happened? Nothing happened with Chicago. Chicago didn't do anything. And just over the 4th of July weekend, they had over 4,000 people get shot.
Mm-hmm. Send the feds, Trump.
Trump said, if they don't fix it, I'm sending in the feds. Right? Just what, a week or 2 weeks ago, Trump said, I'm sending in the feds because you still haven't done anything to prevent it. What president has ever in American history said that or even initiated that? Not
Trump is the HNIC.
Not to my knowledge.
And see, that's my whole point. And they don't share that information with us. And they don't want us to know. All you know what? And I'm gonna tell you, sir, don't take my word for it. Just go Google it. When you see it, you can be like, dude, because a lot of it, I had no idea. Google I had no idea. But I'm telling you, don't take my word for it. Go out there and look at it. Because I just want people to know, because the information is there and they're suppressing it from us.
Real talk,
and we need to try to make sure everybody gets aware of it. And to me, you sound like that.
You're sharing that because I'm gonna check into it. And if it's out there, we need to start emailing family members and friends. And
exactly.
Said that, I want to say something else too about our criminal justice system. And this is something that we can use when we're going. And we all have loved ones who have been on the other side of the law. One of the biggest things that I've noticed when they tell you don't make a statement and don't say anything, let me tell you something. I purposely, now I did this myself, not something I heard, but I did this myself for like 4.5 months. I would go down to the Luce Area Justice Center and walk in different courtrooms. I never said anything. And what I was noticing was all of these people that were coming, that were being represented by these attorneys, when you're sitting in the hall and you waiting, they're in there talking about your case, and they're selling you out. I'm hearing prosecuting attorneys go in there and say, well, Your Honor, I don't know yet. They haven't told me. I haven't talked to my client yet. He hasn't given me the scoop yet. Once he gives me the scoop, then we'll be able to try to see how we want to proceed with the case. This is the person that's supposed to be representing the defendant in the case. And the prosecuting attorney is right there like a vulture waiting to work something out. First of all, we need to stop talking. Don't say anything. Let them talk. And the second thing, to tip the scales, we need to start saying, I want a fast and speedy trial. And here's why. I was presented when I was going in there, this is what made me do what I did. I was wrongfully charged with a domestic abuse case, and it wasn't really a domestic abuse case. So I went in there, and I said, well, let's go ahead and go through it. They thought they was going to show a police report, get me scared, and I never made a statement to the police. I never told the attorney. I wrote down on the piece of paper that they tried to give me a court date set. I said, I want a fast and speedy trial. When I said that, everything changed. And then they had to give me a fast and speedy trial. And when he said the trial date is set for this day, when I went in there, because I never said nothing, I got ready to explain the whole truth to the judge and say, this is really what took place, and these are the real facts, it wound up being dismissed. There's no way you can be represented if your counsel is going and talking to you about this is what the DA said we can do. They're already talking about your case. How can he go, if they come to you and say, well, I know the DA. No, you don't know the DA. They already talked about you. They already had a plan of what they want to do. Here's what they're trying to get from you. Don't sell out like that. If you really want to change the scale, say you want a fast and speedy trial, and I promise you, you will have a better chance at the law if you can't afford an attorney for you, because at that point in time, the record is developed differently. See, we lose because they go in there and they know what questions to ask you. So when you appeal your case, they have case law that says, well, the court has already heard these facts. Okay. So if we haven't heard any new facts, we can summarily dismiss your case.
All right.
See, this is how they backdoor. We don't know that. We haven't been groomed in that area.
Yep, I see that happen. I've actually seen that happen quite often. Hey, We've been on here quite a while. I'm gonna have to get off of here.
Thanks.
Hey.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey,
God
like I
bless y'all
said,
for doing what you're doing.
Hey, much love, bro.
Like I said, don't take my word for it. Please go look that information up. You got to do it for yourself.
Hey, you do me one favor too. Do me one favor. Email me at partybuslimo, the number 2, at gmail.com, and keep in touch with me so I want to get educated.
Okay, look, do me a favor.
Hey, I'll
do me a
keep
favor.
in touch with you, bro.
It's easier. Send both of
You're
us
cool brother,
a
man.
private message. Send both of us a private message with your email address.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll get on that right now.
Okay, cool. Hey, thanks for calling in. God bless.
Thank you.
Hey, Hillary supporters need love too.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get off for real now. We've been on here 2.5 hours now.
2.5 hours.
I want to thank everybody who stuck in with us, who's still here watching us. You know what? You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate it. I want to, like I said, I really do appreciate everybody watching and people that's sticking around again and watch later on. This was actually pretty awesome. This is pretty eventful. I love the fact that we get people on both sides of the party to call in.
Yes.
And the last gentleman that was just there, I mean, you know, he wasn't acting all crazy, and that's what it's about.
No, good people.
And I'm so glad that, you know, he's willing. And he said, man, I never heard of that information. And that's what I want to do. And that's what this is about. I want to bring the information and allow people to know. There's a reason why I support our president, Donald J. Trump. There's a reason. And I don't support him just because I want to go against the grain. I support him because of what he's doing and what he said he's going to do and what he has done. So, hey, thanks again, Mo, for joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here.
Anytime, twin.
Yep.
Anytime,
and
twin.
I appreciate everyone that stuck with us. Thank you, guys. God bless and good night.
God bless y'all.
Good morning. My name is State Assemblyman Travis Allen, and I'm joining you today from the California State Capitol, where it's been my pleasure to serve you for the last 5 years as a California State Assemblyman. California needs a new vision. California needs new leadership. I've seen our taxes increase to be among the highest in the nation. I've seen crime increase in every major metropolitan area, and I've seen an expansion of the government bureaucracy at the expense of hardworking Californians and their businesses. In California, we must get serious about cutting our taxes. Californians pay among the highest taxes in the entire nation. We must begin to truly get tough on crime. With Proposition 47, Proposition 57, and AB 109, more criminals now roam our streets than ever, and crime is on the rise in every major market. We need to fix our roads and reduce our traffic to make sure that Californians can get to and from work and back home to see their families. And lastly, we need to complete the California State Water Project. There is no reason that California has to be at the mercy of droughts every decade. These are problems that we can solve. These are problems that we can fix. But California needs new leadership. California has serious challenges due to decades of failed leadership in Sacramento, which is why today I am announcing that I am running to be your next governor in the state of California. My name is Travis Allen. Join me, and together, let's take back California.